the hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. A divided Supreme Court has struck down Louisiana's congressional map, finding that lawmakers illegally used race when drawing up a new majority black district. CBS's Allison Keyes.
The Supreme Court's decision weakens a key section of the Voting Rights Act, which protects against discrimination in redistricting. CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
The Supreme Court, once again, a majority has said, don't use race.
House Speaker Mike Johnson, a Louisiana Republican, supports the court's ruling. Johnson says we'll see if lawmakers there go in and draw new maps before the state's primary in 2 weeks. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump has spoken with Russian President Putin about the wars in Ukraine and Iran. CBS's Linda Kenyon reports.
The president says it was a very good conversation with his Russian counterpart. The two spoke about Ukraine and Iran, with Trump saying Putin offered to play a role in the Iran war.
He told me he'd like to be involved with the enrichment if he can help us get it. I said I'd much rather have you be involved with ending the war with Ukraine.
The president says he and Putin also spoke about Iran's nuclear capabilities, saying they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. He added Putin doesn't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon either. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is defending the Pentagon's record budget request on Capitol Hill. He has told the House Armed Services Committee the record $1.5 trillion budget addresses the urgency of the moment.
This budget also includes a historic troop pay increase, 7% for lower enlisted, and the budget eliminates all poor or failing barracks.
The House has given approval to a 3-year extension of a U.S. surveillance program. CBS's Cammie McCormick with more.
The program was set to expire on Friday. In approving its extension, new oversight measures were added, including a monthly civil liberties review. But lawmakers stopped short of adding a requirement for warrants. Speaker Mike Johnson said 2/3 of the president's daily national security briefing comes from intelligence collected by the statute, and it couldn't go dark. But it faces an uncertain future in the Senate.
The Federal Reserve is signaling it could cut rates in the coming months, but is keeping things steady for now. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
In its statement, the Fed noted that while inflation is elevated because of the increase in global energy prices due to the war in the Middle East, prices overall have not accelerated.
Also, Fed Chair Jerome Powell plans to remain a board governor after his term as chair ends next month, citing legal actions by the Trump administration. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Y'all came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
Coming up, a new report on who controls the flow of public information from state agencies. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
It's starting to get busy out there, Aaron. This report brought to us by the KIRO Newsradio app. Let's start in downtown Seattle. North 5 jam-packed from the Michigan curve past I-90. Another thick backup from Mercer to the Ship Canal. We're up to 40 minutes to commute through downtown. South 5, we're heavy at the Ship Canal Bridge to the West Seattle Bridge. We're back under 20 minutes, though, from Linwood to Seattle. Eastbound on the West Seattle Bridge, you're bumper to bumper from Highway 99 over to I-5. Seattle to Everett plan on 45 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, they're already at 1 hour. It's slow from I-90 through Totem Lake, and then you thin out pretty good, but then another backup forming between Canyon Park and Alderwood. Bellevue to Renton's at a half hour. Typical backup starting at 5:20, and it's a half-hour trip from Seattle to Federal Way. Text app APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A new report from Axios alleges Governor Bob Ferguson's office is tightly controlling what information reaches the public and the press. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
One example, Axios says emails they uncovered show the governor's office delaying a timely and critical measles notice concerning exposure at SeaTac Airport because they wanted to make a minor change. However, it follows a policy requiring Governor Bob Ferguson's office to approve most state agency news releases and responses to media questions. Ferguson's office tells Axios the policy improves coordination across agencies, but agency staff complained it has created major communication bottlenecks. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle's Taproot Theater is asking for help after copper thieves wrecked its HVAC system. Theater hopes to raise $400,000 to replace it before the weather heats up. Artistic director Karen Lund says the loss threatens summer performances and kids' classes during its milestone 50th season.
We have really got to solve this problem by the beginning of June, or we're going to have to figure out alternatives. I'm nervous about having to shut down our programming, and that's why we're asking for help.
And if you would like to donate, there is a link with this story at mynorthwest.com. Tacoma's $155 million parks bond appears headed for approval. The measure is drawing more than 76% of the vote as of last night, well above the 60% needed to pass. The bond would fund park upgrades and replacements over the next 6 years. It continues the same property tax rate voters approved back in 2014. Mariners end their road trip on a high note with a ninth-inning rally over the Minnesota Twins. Cole Young came through with the game-winning hits to drive in 2 runs and give the Mariners the lead.
Time and time and time again, Cole Young a monster on this road trip. Unbelievable.
Final score 5-3. Cole Young batted .500 on the road trip as the Mariners improved to 16-16 on the season. Your forecast now looking at sunshine this afternoon and more sunny skies come tomorrow with a few clouds in the morning to get through as well. Right now 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
We're here to engage in a wonderful self-healing experience. Prepare yourself for a profound communion between your body, your psyche, and your soul.
Wow, what time's that starting?
Right now.
Do I need to prepare in any way?
Yeah, you got to prepare yourself.
They didn't go into specifics on that. All right, how about I remain seated? Let's do it, Abby, on the News Radio Show! This is going to be profound. Thank you for that, Andrew. Really ups the ante and brings the bar up. And by the way, teeny on the floor. So I guess it's nobody cares about
your
it.
Job.
Oh, you're busy.
Your job.
Oh, ever since you got back from Hawaii. Mahalo out your head. All right. Give me that song. Here's what's happened with the show. Joe said, do you mind if we do Rabbit Hole Wednesday? The alliteration doesn't work. But I said, okay, I'll give you the first segment. And what is the argument you're going to try to make here, Joe?
Well, it's based on... Ooh, that's new.
Yeah, look at that.
It's based on this lawsuit that was filed today against the acting Attorney General Todd Blanche in relation to the Epstein files by a journalist. And every time I put the Epstein files on the schedule or something, adjacent, I always get the,
No, okay.
Wow, that's new too.
Freaking more!
And so I decided I should just take a crack at convincing you that not just the Epstein files is the most important story in this country, probably the world, but some of the other things that are kind of related with AI and government surveillance and all these things that are being implemented very quickly should be honestly the headline on every news station, on this show, on every other show for the next year.
So the argument starts with this guy, Epstein, however he made his money, whatever he was directly involved in, put incredibly powerful people in compromising positions and videotaped. Then used that to blackmail them to do certain things for the benefit of who or whom? Whoever was paying him to get the people that were being blackmailed, extorted, to do things for some people. He was trading favors for the sexual harassment and crimes that were being committed. So it's basically the idea, right? So he was the main keeper of all of the things that would destroy these people, And then, therefore, everybody would agree to do certain things, even though they didn't want to do the certain things, because if not, then Epstein would go public with them and then destroy them.
A classic compromiser. You know,
Okay. So somebody has to, if he is the puppet or he is the guy that is blackmailing, who is the main person or main organization or main country that is pulling the strings for Epstein and telling Epstein who to get and who not to get?
Well, the general consensus among rabbit holees like myself is that it's probably Mossad. So he was essentially an agent for Mossad.
Okay. So Israel, he works for Israel. And Israel says, get this guy, compromise that guy, because we need this and we need that and we need this.
I think it's compromise anybody and everybody you possibly can. Maybe we'll need them in the future.
Okay. All right. Continue.
Do you care about any of the audio from this lawsuit that the journalist filed? I put some in there for you.
I saw it. She's going to have a bit of a problem. Basically, her lawsuit says, I, as a reporter, need to be able to do my job. You have to show damages. Right. It's very hard when you sue the government because the government, especially with something that's considered to be the Department of Justice, and you get FBI, national security, all this other stuff. Well, the reason we've redacted is because we can show that this could compromise our ability to do our job and to keep people safe. So when journalists do sue the government for freedom of information requests that are denied, it's tough. You got to show damages on it. And you'd have to show, I need this information because without this information, I'm not able to serve the people. And my First Amendment rights are being infringed upon. So she's going to have a tough time. She did file it in the District of Columbia, the federal judge who is the same judge that Trump tried to get impeached. So that's a little bit of it. But what she's basically saying, why are you redacting a whole bunch of things, specific things that would help us put all this stuff together? That's it.
So I think to add also a little bit of perspective, it's important to know, and you know this, we've had this conversation, it's important to know why I kind of became this like Epstein obsessed person.
Oh, yes.
So
I would say about 6 weeks ago it hit.
No, I think it was beginning of February. It was maybe it was January 31st.
Okay,
it was a Friday night at the end of January.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a Friday night.
Yes.
I'm at home and I'm by myself. My wife is out of town for 4 days.
Yep.
So it's just me and the dog
Yep.
sitting on the couch.
Yep.
And I'm scrolling through Twitter and all of a sudden these documents start appearing and these like, oh my God, accusations and these denials.
Yes.
You know, first I see Elon Musk going, nobody was campaigning harder to release the files than me. You know, I never went to the island, all this stuff. I'm like, wow, that's weird. And then I start seeing these allegations against Trump. And these are just allegations, but they're horrific. Like the worst thing you can possibly imagine when it comes to, you know, sexual violence and possibly murder.
Okay.
And so I'm like losing my mind. Like, oh my God, this is so much worse than I think anybody thought. And I start to
uncorroborated.
Yes, uncorroborated. Some of it was. There was one that was they did 4 or 5 interviews the FBI did with a witness, which makes people think that maybe that was credible. But again, these are accusations. So I'm seeing all these things, and I think I start texting you immediately.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm seeing most of the stuff on Twitter, and so I know right away that I can't trust these screen captures I'm seeing on Twitter. So everything that I was sending to you, I decided to go on the Department of Justice's website and start verifying.
I remember this weekend.
Yes.
Well. Okay.
Starting with the Trump stuff, because this is a sitting president of the United States, and these are horrendous accusations. So I'm going on and verifying every document that I come across that's blowing my mind, and pulling it up on the Department of Justice's website, saving it there, and I have a folder on my computer which is full of this stuff.
Right.
And start sending it to you. And there, at some point, and this is the first couple of hours, at some point, I go to pull another one of these Trump files, and it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So I refresh the page, and it's gone. And then there's the same thing happens with essentially all of these documents that had very damaging things to say about the president himself. They're all of a sudden gone.
Right.
And they were there. I saw it. I mean, this is.
I know you sent them to me. Yeah.
In real time, they're being pulled off the Department of Justice's website, and it was at that point where I was like hooked. Like, something is weird here. This is crazy. And they didn't pull everything off that had Trump's name. His name is like 32,000 times in there, and some of it not flattering at all, but all of the sexual assault allegations were being removed in real time. So I think it seemed to me, if I had to guess, they released a couple of things that they didn't want to, and then they realized it quickly, and then they took them away.
Okay.
So it smelled like cover-up immediately.
Well, could you also give some breath to the possibility that these were uncorroborated? These were last-minute accusations against the president because they put a deadline on everybody that wanted to send something in could be sent in, I think, by the 12th of December or something like that. So then it all came in under the wire. It's right in there. Nobody checked these things out. It was part of it. It went into the file of they hadn't checked into it, but then it got released as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If it's in the files, they had to release it.
But if I could have made up whatever, I'm not defending them. I'm just trying to point out.
It's not the accusations that concern me. It's the fact that they were there on the DOJ's website, and then all of a sudden they were gone.
I know. What I'm saying is the DOJ releases, and then they say, by the way, these were uncorroborated. The FBI has not
Doesn't matter. They have to. The law that Congress passed says you release everything
under the Transparency
in these
Act.
files. Yeah.
Release all of it, even if it's not true.
Even if it's not true, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Not
all right.
Like there's thousands of accusations against other people.
All right, go ahead.
So that's what hooked me. I'm like, this is just weird. I saw it there, now it's gone.
Yes.
Like there's odd behavior going on, and so at that point, I'm seeing stuff about other people. Elon Musk and Howard Lutnick and Bill Gates and Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and Bill Barr. And I'm going in doing the same thing. And these ones remained in there, and I see Steve Bannon and Sam Altman and Peter Thiel and Larry Ellison and all of these people who are so close to Trump. I didn't know who Howard Lutnick was until this second administration started, and he became the Secretary of Commerce. And we played a lot of audio from him because after the tariffs passed, because he was going on saying, "Oh, we're gonna rejuvenate manufacturing in the United States." So all of a sudden, I kind of knew these names, and again, news is new to me. It's only been a couple years, so every name I recognized, I start going in and digging around.
Right,
and let's just take Howard Lutnick for example. He had said a year prior on camera twice. He said that I met Jeffrey Epstein once, and I was so disgusted. Me and my wife were so disgusted by his vibe, just to be near him, that we swore that day we would never be in a room with him again.
Yes.
That's not true. That was immediately revealed. There's email exchanges between them long since Epstein was convicted in 2009 of pedophilia. The guy that gave him that deal in 2009 was in the files.
Yes.
The trails to follow were just ridiculous. You could go anywhere. So I just start piecing these things together, and it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And there's the Rothschild family, the Rothschild Bank, Netanyahu. They're talking about wars and how wars are valuable to the United States if there are a couple other countries, like taking advantage of conflicts, how there are opportunities for how they can capitalize on these opportunities.
Right. And
it's like the craziest suspense novel ever, and there's just so much to unpack. The really interesting thing is the Peter Thiel stuff, because, and again, I didn't know. I knew who Peter Thiel was because I'm kind of like a tech nerd, and he's got this Palantir company and all this stuff, and so when I see Peter Thiel's name come up and all of the connections that he has with Epstein and their friendship and their long-standing meetings and everything else, and this is why it's so important.
Okay.
Peter Thiel, his company, Palantir, is currently, they have just signed a deal to basically be the IT company, the tech company for this data center / Pentagon kind of technology hub that's being built under the White House under the ballroom as we speak. And when you start to see that the people the people in these files are the people that were standing around Trump on his first day of his inauguration. You've got Larry Ellison from Oracle, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Sam Altman. I mean, these are all people that are close circle. The Howard Lutnick thing.
Yes.
The everybody essentially in his administration is compromised in these files as being not for necessarily doing anything wrong, but for having this close relationship with Epstein.
And how does this affect you as an American citizen?
Well, that's the problem. What we have to worry about is how these people are basically taking control of all of the data that we produce, like the Palantir thing. I mean, even the word Palantir, it comes from the Lord of the Rings movie, and it's from the all-seeing. I think it's
all
called,
knowledge comes when you touch the thing.
It's the sphere, and you touch it, and you can see anything through anyone's eyes anywhere in the world. And this is. I mean, that's just weird on its own. But let me give you a little taste of what Peter Thiel does and Palantir does.
Palantir is the AI firm used by Israel and ICE for surveillance. Its founder, Peter Thiel, appears over 2,200 times in the Epstein files. Through their often cryptic communications, Thiel and Jeffrey Epstein revealed that they viewed crises as opportunities, flippantly referring to wars abroad. In June 2014, Thiel said that creating a mess in the rest of the world could limit U.S. intervention. Epstein also talked to Thiel about foreign currency devaluation with enthusiasm. Thiel was invited to Epstein's island, and they expressed loyalty to one another, like in this 2015 email where Thiel reassured the convicted sex offender that he was not at all intimidated by bad press. Epstein frequently connected people to Thiel, notably Israeli politician Ehud Barak. In recently leaked audio from 2013, Epstein encouraged Barak, at the time Israel's defense minister, to look into Palantir. Today, Israel is one of Palantir's most lucrative clients. Palantir provides predictive policing technology and artificial intelligence for automated decision-making, according to a 2025 UN report. When asked in 2024 what he thought of the Israeli army using AI to bomb Gaza, here's what Thiel said.
Broadly, the IDF gets to decide what it wants to do, and that they're broadly in the right.
Palantir's biggest profits are from the U.S. Department of Defense, which has committed to spending $2 billion. The Department of Homeland Security has allocated over $300 million to Palantir. By January 2026, ICE had adopted Palantir's tracking tool called Elite, which extracts addresses from healthcare data to locate immigrants.
Yes. Right. So, if I'm listening to this, I'm like, yeah, but I got to get home, and what am I going to have for dinner?
Right. But you should be very, very concerned about this, because at 4 o'clock, we're talking about the kill switch, the automobile kill switch that is already in law. We're talking about the AI surveillance, the FISA. So it's foreign surveillance that they're already using. They authorized it for the FBI to spy on Americans with no warrants. So these are things that are being fought over in Congress right now.
Yes.
The kill switch has already been passed. That goes into effect January 1st, 2027. It gives your car so many ways to spy on you. Not only that, it will make your car inoperable for any reason if it determines that it's supposed to be for drunk driving, but if it thinks if your eyes are dilated, if it thinks you're unfit to drive, you will not be able to operate that car. Every single car made from January 1st, 2027 on will have this technology in it. The surveillance, the geofencing, which is something that the Supreme Court is hearing right now, which essentially gives Palantir, because they're the main operator of this technology, it gives them the ability to say a crime is committed on your block.
Right.
They can all of us in an instant know every single person that was in 50 yards or 100 yards or 1,000 yards of that crime, know exactly where they were in proximity to it, what they were doing, who they were next to, everything about it, anybody in that scene, in that geofence.
And aren't we all safer because of it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Here comes Nate checking traffic. Joe?
How about Wabbit Hole Wednesday? You see how that
I like
goes?
that. Yeah.
Wabbit.
Oh, yeah. Wabbit.
Wabbit
Yeah.
Hole
Good. I like that. Keep going.
Carpet Liquidators has our update here. North 5 in Everett at 41st. We've got a new collision in the HOV lane, and you are stacked up all the way to the Everett Mall. Everett to Marysville right now, about 15 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. You're slow from Northgate through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5. It's slow from I-90 through Totem Lake, and then from there, we've got scattered backups into Alderwood. North 5 through Seattle, packed before the West Seattle Bridge, just past I-90. Then it opens up, but then you're going to jam up again at Mercer to the Ship Canal. So it's a 40-minute trip just to clear downtown Seattle. Our lake bridges are all clear. Westbound 520, you're going to jam up at the Arboretum over to I-5. Renton to Puyallup on 167's at 40 minutes, and it's just a 35-minute trip right now from Tacoma to Olympia. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, Carpet Liquidators has got you covered. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You know, there's some parts of the house that just don't seem to work. Like, for instance, when a closet is jammed, well, it's no longer a closet. When you can't store anything in the garage, can't even put your car in there. Well, that's not working either. Pantry, you can't find anything. There's a can of beans from like 7 years ago or something. Where is everything? The house just doesn't seem to function correctly because it's not well organized. And that is where Closets by Design comes in. They help with the garage. They help with the pantries, the laundry room, the home office, everything you need. Wherever you're storing something, wherever you want to be able to find something, Closets by Design comes in and gives you that peace of mind and organizes the house. And then it feels like the house is just working again. I tell you from personal experience, I was not a big believer, but when Nick's like, please, we got to get everything organized. I said, okay, go ahead. Closets by Design comes in, and man, oh man, I'm telling you, life is so much simpler. Now we can find everything, and it just looks gorgeous. Without the gigantic price, they're going to give you 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing on proof credit when paid in full. Closets by Design, 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Spring is a perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get new Lake Washington windows and doors with a lifetime transferable warranty installed this year and don't pay for them until next year. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A big day for big tech as 4 major companies on Wall Street posted quarterly earnings today, including Amazon. It beat Wall Street expectations across the board. Amazon Web Services was the biggest driver, growing 28% year over year. CEO Andy Jassy says AI demand is fueling the surge.
It's very unusual for a business to grow this fast on a base this large. We've never seen a technology grow as rapidly as AI.
Microsoft also beat Wall Street expectations, posting a record fiscal third quarter. Revenue rose 18%. Its Azure cloud business surging 40% overall. CEO Satya Nadella called this a defining moment for the industry.
We are at the beginning of one of the most consequential platform shifts that will change the entire tech stack as agents proliferate and become the dominant workload.
And Nadella says the company's AI division alone now generates $37 billion a year in revenue, both Microsoft and Amazon spending tens of billions of dollars to build up their AI infrastructure. The Federal Reserve is holding interest rates steady as the central bank grapples with rising inflation and continued economic uncertainty linked to the war in Iran. CBS's Gwen Baumgardner reports.
In what could be his final meeting as Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell said what many expected.
The FOMC decided to leave our policy rate unchanged.
The Fed is keeping its benchmark interest rate steady at a range of 3.5 to 3.75%. Policymakers point to concerns over persistent, stubborn inflation, which hit a 2-year high in March.
Member of Washington's congressional delegation is trying to get some tax relief for police officers. KIRO Radio's Frank Lindsay explains.
Democratic U.S. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez says she attended a function for police officers last year.
Who were telling me about their buddies whose families were on food stamps. That was enraging to me.
She and Pennsylvania Republican Brian Fitzpatrick are co-sponsoring the Fuel the Force Act. Active duty police officers with at least 5 years of service would not be taxed on the first $100,000 they make each year. Critics say it would be unfair to other first responders who wouldn't get that tax break. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, we already cleared that crash, North 5 at 41st and Everett. The backup is thinning out, but it still starts to slow at the Everett Mall. Everett to Marysville, back under 10 minutes already. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 5 minutes. North 5 through Seattle, no surprises, but it is really thick approaching the West Seattle Bridge to I-90, and bumper to bumper again from Mercer to the Ship Canal. 40 minutes just to get through downtown Seattle. South 5, you're going to slow to 85th to I-90. Bellevue to Renton's at 35 minutes. 405 southbound packed at 520 through Factoria, and then you're going to slowly thin down as you head into the S-curves. North 405, we're heavy from South Center through the Renton S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way, a 40-minute commute. And in Tacoma, South 5 in front of the Dome. We've got a crash blocking the HOV bypass lane. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. Sunny skies right now and continuing Into the coming hours, tomorrow some clouds in the morning, partly cloudy by the afternoon, but still plenty of sunshine as well. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Home come for the Lions. I listened back to our Bucky's. Yeah, that was one of our best.
Really?
Oh, I loved it.
I barely heard it because I had to load audio.
I understand, but Home Comfort Lounge comes to heating and cooling and plumbing, electric. You know what? You buy a heating unit, they give you a cooling unit for free. Can't go wrong there.
Oof.
Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. All right, back to you, Joe.
Oh.
Well, I think this all falls under I read a piece today from Ben Shapiro. Low trust society, that this is what you get when people don't believe institutions. When institutions lose credibility, then people can't point to anything. It's like having a compass and realizing, oh, look at this, it's pointing north, but there must be a magnet nearby, and I've been heading in the wrong direction for the longest time. Well, who's controlling the magnet, and why are they controlling the magnet to affect the compass? Why do they need me to be heading in a different direction other than north? And who built this compass in the first place? Was it China built it? And why did China build it? So we would all be off track and heading in the wrong direction. But for what reason? Everything. It's the compass is my analogy. Shapiro didn't talk about that. But once institutions lose credibility, then people don't trust the institutions, and they don't trust each other. And then we end up with everybody screaming and yelling at one another because nobody believes anything coming from anywhere. Does that all make sense?
100%.
All right. So then you get to, and you can connect these dots through a whole bunch of stuff, but you could also say, because somebody like Epstein traveled in such circles where super duper rich people that had a lot of influence, of course, a lot of them would touch part of Epstein's life, and he would touch part of their lives. But just because Peter Thiel is writing and sending him a list of all the foods and 20 pages of the things that he can eat and can't eat, tells me that Peter Thiel was hanging out with Epstein. Fine. Right. But again, at the end of the day, I got to feed my bulldog, and I got to, that's my concern. And what you might be saying, the American people are just quietly disengaged or not paying attention, and by the time they do wake up to it, it's too late. And your freedom to travel, your freedom to express ideas, your freedom to not have to pay via credit card, everything will be tracked. And when we wake up, it's all over and too late.
Yeah, it's too late. And you can change those laws later, but at that point, it's far too late, because the data has, with AI and AI's ability to collate and collect data and sort it, that's the big problem. And these, you remember when the war with Iran started, Anthropic, one of the biggest AI companies in the world, one of the big four, they had a $500 million contract with the Pentagon. And they were concerned that in Venezuela, the Pentagon had used their AI technology to autonomously target humans.
Okay.
So basically, that was taking away a soldier's ability to. And this is one of their red lines in their contract. They said, if we will not allow you to use our technology to do that. The other thing was the Fourth Amendment concerns. He said, let me play this for you. This is what the CEO of Anthropic said, and this is the reason they walked away from this $500 million deal, and the reason that the federal government has now designated them a supply chain risk. So they're complete, they're like a virus in any federal computers, anything.
Okay.
Here's what he said about the Fourth Amendment.
Constitutional rights and liberty along many different dimensions can be undermined by AI if we don't update these protections appropriately. So, think about the Fourth Amendment. It is not illegal to put cameras around everywhere in public space and, record every conversation. It's a public space. You don't have a right to privacy in a public space. But today, the government couldn't record that all and make sense of it. Right. With AI, the ability to transcribe speech, to look through it, correlate it all, you could say, oh, there's this person is a member of the opposition. This person is expressing this view, and make a map of all 100 million. And so, are you going to make a mockery of the Fourth Amendment by the technology finding kind of technical ways around it? And so, again, if we had the time, and we should do this, we should try to do this, even if we don't have the time. Is there some way of reconceptualizing constitutional rights and liberties in the age of AI?
For that stance, he is a supply chain risk and basically blacklisted in the federal government for saying you can't use our technology to spy on American citizens.
Yeah. Believe me, I know that the government does not have our best interest in mind. I know that people, and then we, the American people, or any other group of people you put under a flag, also have their own best interest in mind. So I'll give you an example. 52% of Americans lie on their health insurance policies, okay? A great percentage of them lie about smoking. Now, the insurance companies know this, but there's no way that they can prove it, right? So, but they raise everybody's rates a little bit because they're trying to create a delta there between the people that are being honest and not being honest. But people lie. People lie about that because they want lower rates. People lie about how they drive, and that's why there's sensors in the car and stuff like that. But so imagine a society where the business is like, I'm tired of people lying to us. Let's take health insurance, right? So then, health insurance. They decide that, are you eating right? Are you taking care of yourself? Well, when you check out at Safeway and they said you want to put your card in there and it sees that you're buying cigarettes, it sees that you buy alcohol and you're buying fatty meat and things like that. Well, then all of a sudden, all that information goes to some place. Now, AI is able to connect cigarettes, Safeway, your health insurance. Then the health insurance sees that you're buying that, and then it can go to whatever organization needs to go to then go to the government that then automatically raises your rates and then fines you for lying, right? So it's connecting all of this stuff together.
Everything.
Okay. Because then it's having to balance honesty and dishonesty, right? And if everybody were angels, you wouldn't need any of this sort of stuff.
But you know what? This is a perfect. It's a perfect analogy. Is the millionaires tax? It's just for the millionaires, for now, just for the millionaires. Palantir is using health insurance data to locate and arrest illegal immigrants. For now,
yes.
2 years from now, different administration, worse administration. Who knows? We could be under an absolutely tyrannical rule, and we just allowed it to happen because we were focused on other things.
Most Americans are completely and utterly disconnected, either actively, passively, or actively from all of this stuff.
I know. If I wasn't home alone that Friday night, I wouldn't know about any of this. I wouldn't care. But this is a watershed moment in this country. I literally believe the next 12 months is gonna absolutely change the way we know life on this planet. Or certainly,
I'll give you one last thing. So underneath the White House now, there is 40. It's huge. It was started and built in 1947. The local Pepco, which handles energy, DC Power, has had to reroute a tremendous amount of power now right to the White House. That's for AI. Plus, the DC water has also increased up to 300 million gallons of additional water going to the underneath the White House.
Yep.
Because they're going to have this giant, massive AI distribution center there collecting all of this information and everything underneath at the White House, 9 stories down, possibly.
The new ballroom, yep. I mean, and look, the Edward Snowden stuff.
I know.
The NSA back then, that was crazy enough. That was before AI existed.
Well, all we need to do is get home safely. Here comes Nate. Nate, traffic.
Here I am, baby. Carpet Liquidators has the update. Tacoma, South 5 in front of the Dome. We've got a crash blocking the HOV bypass lane, and now your left general purpose lane. And this adds to a solid backup starting at State Route 18, Federal Way to Tacoma, closing in on a 20-minute drive. If you're continuing south, Tacoma to Olympia, 40 minutes. Both directions of I-5 actually are slow through South Tacoma this afternoon, mostly between the mall and South 84th. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 40 minutes. Slows from Renton through Kent and then again from Algona into Puyallup. North 5 in Seattle, we've got your typical backups starting before the West Seattle Bridge across the Ship Canal. It's going to take you 40 minutes to get through this. Bellevue to Everett, up to an hour 10. It is solid from Mid-Bellevue to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett is inched up to 55 minutes. Get your entire home installed for just $99 at Carpet Liquidators. From carpet to flooring, Carpet Liquidators has got you covered. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. We're here to help you achieve total wellness at home. Right now, save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa for fabulous healthy soaks. Or save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa and turn your backyard into a year-round swim oasis. These massive savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. At Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we make protecting your home simple and affordable. With flexible financing and 20-plus years of trusted service, you can count on lasting quality from Guardian. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Get out in the sun, get your hands in the soil. A little gardening goes a long way. Hi, I'm Sarah from Sky Nursery in Shoreline. April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. Whether it's native fir trees in your backyard, a thriving patch of flowers, or a walk through your local arboretum. Whatever your adventure, there is something beautiful to discover. Our purpose at Sky Nursery is to support you on your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Celebrate Earth Day, Arbor Day, and Native Plant Month with Sky Nursery. Garden tips and info at skynursery.com.
His name refers to it as Wabbit Wednesday.
He's so proud. Somebody texted that in.
Did they already? I'm going to feel like I have to start doing the show like this. Joining us now is Joe.
Where did those go?
Huh? What do you mean? What? Those of you following along, you know. And Andrew runs in and tells Joe, you better hurry up and get a gun license. I'll just say this, that I was looking up. I talked to a friend of mine who used to work deep state stuff. His son works for the FBI. I said, please, that's his nickname. I said, W, please just tell me that this stuff isn't crazy. He's like, look, you know, what are you concerned about? And I said, just the surveillance from the government and then the infringement of my rights to be able to travel, to be able to spend money, to be able to buy what I want, say what I want. He's like, 20 years from now, it's going to be really bad. I said, how bad? He goes, well, I'll give you an example, maybe even sooner than 20 years. He said, a friend of mine's over in China riding his bike, not in the bike lane, but slightly outside of the bike lane for a short period of time. A week later, he gets a fine in the mail. So while he's riding the bike, it takes a picture of his face. It knows his face, knows his address, knows everything about him. And then attached, also included on the fine, is the fact that he needs to pay it within a certain amount of time. If not, then the government will just take the money out of his account.
Or suspend your license. And
I said, good. Well, that's good. Because we need people to stay in their bike lanes. So then, the government was there for his concern. They don't want to grab the bike lane because then you could hurt somebody. He could get hurt. Get back in the bike lane. You'll be perfectly fine in the bike lane. So there's nothing wrong with this. The world is a lot safer if everybody just sort of follows the rules. If we don't follow the rules, then we have to go to this extreme measure.
That is you speaking facetiously, I hope.
Well, if it starts as a way of saying, well, would it be a lot safer if we had this? And then somebody goes, yeah, but it would be even better if we had that. And then we can control more stuff because people just need to be controlled because, let's face it, there's people that are smarter than all of us. And they are the ones that should be able to tell us what to think, how to spend our money, what we should buy, what we should not buy. And it happens all the time, right? When they decide, oh, we're going to tax your cigarettes, we're going to tax your Zins, we're going to tax this and tax that. The same thing with the amendment, the 18th Amendment, which all of a sudden was like, okay, now no more alcohol, anybody. Because for a while there, that was the thing. The Temperance Society got a hold, right, and they outlawed alcohol.
This is a disaster.
I agree, Teeny. Hang on, you old drunk. Then, after a couple of years, they realized, look at this, people still like alcohol. And the homicide rate increased by like some 40%. Then they decide, well, let's get rid of the 18th. Let's make alcohol
And we're not making any money on this bootleg liquor that's being sold.
It's not happening for us. And people are really upset about it. So then they get rid of it. So the Overton window moves back and forth. The problem is when you can't get to the window or even touching the window or trying to get close to the window ends up with you losing your job, losing money, and just everybody just stay in line. It's George Orwell's Big Brother. Just completely, we're living in it now. I'm sure Orwell is spinning in his grave. That was a fiction. That was supposed to be fiction.
What was Ben Franklin's quote? Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety.
Yeah. And let's go to that French whorehouse. Here comes Nate looking at traffic. Nathan.
All right, Tacoma South 5 in front of the Dome. A crash blocks the HOV bypass lane. Looks like they opened up that left general purpose lane, which is good news because we've got a solid backup approaching State Route 18, and then it turns real thick there at the Fife curve. Right now, Federal Way to Tacoma has jumped to a 35-minute commute. Seattle to Federal Way is a 40-minute trip. You're slow from MLK Junior Way to 516. Northbound 405 in the south end slows from South Center through the Renton S curves. South Center to Bellevue's at a half hour. South 405 heading into Bellevue just before 520. We've got a new crash in the left lane. You're already backed up to Northeast 70th Place. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 10 minutes already, and we're solid from mid-Bellevue all the way to the Alderwood interchange. Everett to Marysville, 10 minutes. It's slow from 526 to 529. And eastbound 526, we're bumper to bumper leaving the bowling plant over to I-5. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
My name is Skip, and Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland helped me with my Small Business Administration loan. With her help, I was able to keep my small business open, and she can help you too. Please contact Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland's office at 360-459-8514 or visit strickland.house.gov for help. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer's right around the corner. Procrastinators, beware. Valentine Roofing schedule is filling up now, and you don't want to be stuck with the other guys. So call 206 Roofing today, and Valentine can still start your roof in as little as 3 weeks. Then you can enjoy barbecuing on your deck in the backyard without worrying about old shingles falling on your head. So call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprise, just a clear estimate that you can trust. Call 206 Roofing, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology, and that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Advanced Hair Restoration, the simple one-day hair loss solution that's guaranteed to regrow your own natural hair. AdvancedHair.com. AdvancedHair.com.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
Amazon Business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. Supreme Court says race cannot be used to determine congressional district boundaries. WWL's Dave Cohen.
The High Court struck down the majority black congressional district. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry says the Supreme Court finally got it right after a long fight.
We spent tens of millions of dollars on lawyers.
Money he says should have gone directly to help taxpayers. Incumbent Congressman Cleo Fields represents the majority-minority district, but doesn't expect a new map to be in place before the midterm election.
I don't think that'll be wise for the people of Louisiana.
Dave Cohen for CBS News, New Orleans.
President Trump describes a conversation with Russian President Putin today as very good. He was asked what role Putin said he wanted to play in the war with Iran.
He told me he'd like to be involved with the enrichment if he can help us get it. I said I'd much rather have you be involved with ending the war with Ukraine.
The Republican-controlled House has approved a 3-year extension of a key U.S. surveillance program after weeks of infighting. The measure adds new oversight but stops short of the central demand from critics, requiring a warrant to access Americans' communications. Next steps in the Senate are uncertain. Jerome Powell says he plans to remain on the board of the Federal Reserve for an undetermined period of time after his term as chair ends next month. The reason given? Recent legal actions taken by the Trump administration against the Fed. Also, the Fed leaves its benchmark interest rate unchanged.
The committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 3.5% to 3.75%. The economic outlook remains highly uncertain, and the conflict in the Middle East has added to this uncertainty.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has faced numerous questions on Capitol Hill 2 months into the war with Iran, as lawmakers pressed for answers on the strategy and the cost of the operation. An exchange between Democratic California Congressman John Garamendi and Secretary Hegseth.
The president has got himself and America stuck in the quagmire of another war in the Middle East.
Don't say I support the troops on one hand and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. That's a false equivalation. Who are you cheering for here?
Police have arrested a man on attempted murder charge after 2 Jewish men are stabbed in a predominantly Jewish neighborhood in North London. Police have declared it a terror incident and say the alleged attacker has mental health issues and a history of violence. Mark Rowley is head of Metropolitan Police and says for many Jewish people in the UK,
they have to make choices about how they dress, where they go, or how visibly they live their lives. That's completely unacceptable and has gone on for far too long.
The 2 victims, men aged 34 and 76, are stable. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Coming up, copper thieves target a beloved community theater. That's after
Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. In Tacoma, South 5 in front of the Dome. We've got a crash blocking the HOV bypass lane. Got a hefty backup starting at State Route 18. Federal Way to Tacoma is up to a 45-minute commute. That is a half-hour delay. Over to the east side, South 405 just before 520. We already cleared our collision over to the right. From my camera angle, I can't tell if it's blocking that far right lane or if it's all the way to the shoulder. What I can see, though, is a solid backup starting now at Northeast 85th in Kirkland. And really, from that point, we're slow all the way into Renton. Bellevue to Renton is going to take you 35 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 5. It is solid from mid-Bellevue all the way to the Alderwood interchange. Seattle to Everett is catching up at 1 hour. We just hit 1 hour. Heavy volumes from Northgate through Linwood. And we're now up to 45 minutes northbound I-5 just to clear downtown Seattle. Your scattered backups now start at the Michigan curve. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Copper thieves strike again in Seattle, this time at Taproot Theater in the Greenwood neighborhood.
During a performance, staff members noticed it had gotten unusually hot in the theater. They soon figured out that copper had been stolen from rooftop HVAC units.
For a very little amount of copper, they took 2 of our air conditioning units and destroyed them.
Artistic director Karen Lund tells G and Ursula they have to replace their entire HVAC system now. They're trying to raise $400,000 to pay for it. If you'd like to donate, you'll find a link with this story at mynorthwest.com. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
22-year-old Seattle man is now charged with trying to abduct an 8-year-old girl on Saturday in West Seattle. The King County Prosecutor's Office now charging Christian Boogie Markham with second-degree attempted kidnapping. He is due in court on Monday. Recent UW Syringe Services survey challenges claims that handing out smoking supplies enables drug use. Dr. Caleb Bantagreen is with the UW School of Public Health.
We are not seeing that in these data at all, that these folks they may be coming in for smoking supplies initially, but they're engaging in a lot of other services over a long period of time.
And he says that includes getting naloxone, HIV testing, and housing referrals. The same survey found injection use dropping, with methamphetamine now surpassing fentanyl as the most commonly used drug in the region. 2 Seattle men now face federal sex trafficking charges in a case involving adults and teens. Prosecutors identified LeAnthony Palmer as the leader of a Seattle street gang. They accuse him and Brandon Barnett of using force, threats, and coercion to control victims. Investigators say women were trafficked across multiple states. If convicted, both men face 15 years to life in prison. Mariners cap off their road trip with a 9th-inning comeback win today over the Minnesota Twins. Second baseman Cole Young, staying hot, came through with the game-winning hits.
Cole Young has done it again. He's come through, Mr. Clutch, drives home 2, and the Mariners have the lead. It's 4-3.
Final score 5-3. Mariners went 5-1 on the road trip. They're now back to 500 on the season. Your weather update now, looking at sunny skies right now. Some clouds for tomorrow, but still pleasant temperatures. Highs will be in the upper 60s, low 70s potentially. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It's going to be very hot, going to be very uncomfortable for everybody. Want anybody yelling? We get anybody yelling around here anymore today, and then the is going to hit the fan.
Help me. Press the buttons, would you? Press the buttons over here, would you? My ears. You whizzikers.
What happened?
I figured out how to get out of the thing and get onto this other thing, and then I couldn't figure out how to get back.
Oh my.
I'm back. Jeez, look how red it made me. All right, let's dive into the news. This whole show has a dark cloud hanging over it. And I think the cloud's name is Joe. Dive into that. And for people that are texting in on the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476, I'm not I'm not resisting what Joe's saying. I'm just lightly pushing back and just saying, can you see how somebody might see this to have to jump to these conclusions? You gotta, how wet are you going to get as you jump from one stone to the next in order to get across this imaginary, raging river of infringement upon our freedom. Like, for instance, it's coming in 2027. The Department of Transportation is going to have all sorts of rules and regulations regarding your car and for your safety. Now, let's go back to 1985. The Department of Transportation said to all auto manufacturers, you need to have airbags. And these things need to be in the car. It's going to cost you a ton of money, and they have to be in the car. And that's what's going to have to happen. Elizabeth Dole was the head of the Department of Transportation. Well, what happened was all the car manufacturers were like, are you kidding me? That's going to be so expensive to put all this stuff in. The cost of the car is going to go way up. So the Reagan administration said, okay, how about we come up with a compromise? If we can get 2/3 of the United States population, through each state, to agree to not passive, but restraining seatbelts, where you have to click the seatbelt and put it in. If we can get all the states to agree that we will give a ticket if you don't have the seatbelt on, then that gives everybody a pass and that we don't have to go to airbags. And sure enough, the auto companies went around and lobbied, gave lots of money to politicians to go, hey, push this, do seatbelts. And they're like, okay. And they did. And that's why we have the seatbelts and we have the seatbelt laws. Because it was the government coming in, trying to stop people from going through the windshields, telling the manufacturers of the cars, you must build airbags. The manufacturers coming back, that's going to be really expensive. Is some more workaround? Sure. And that's how we end up with the seatbelt laws, because other people are like, I want to go through the windshield. My father went through the windshield. His father went through the windshield. We are a family of windshield deniers. All right. Now, the new ones coming in 2027 basically allows you to not get hurt in your car. You should have no problem with this. This is your car, and the people that make the cars and the insurance companies looking out for you. This is a civil liberties TikToker demonstrating the kill switch.
Now imagine there was an emergency outside the truck, an accident, something terrible on the ranch with a chainsaw. And I jump in this truck, but the truck, it won't shift into drive. Why? Because the cameras and sensors inside this cab won't let it shift, because it detects my eyes are big, there's a lot of emotion, there's some panic, and it doesn't feel that I'm fit to drive. Now, that's not science fiction. That is happening because Ford just filed the patents.
Okay, now, I called my friend at Ford, who is in charge of a lot of this stuff, and he said, yeah, we have about 5 patents we put in place. I said, yeah, but you're not going to just not have them happen. He says, no, we're in no rush to do this. He said what we just want to do is have the patent so somebody else doesn't take the patent, so we have the technology rather than somebody else. You're just basically storing it.
But this particular, and he lists a few of the different patents they filed, but this kill switch, this is already law. They have to, every car made after
2027.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you plan on going to a ranch with a chainsaw, you better come up with another plan. Here's another part of it. This is the helpful to police.
Ford didn't file just one patent. They filed a stack of them, all within months of each other. This Ford technology patent doesn't just watch you. This one puts you in jail. Ford filed a patent.
The car drives you to jail?
Eventually.
Number 0104469, where the system takes your biometric data, your face, your iris, and your fingerprint, and it runs it through a criminal database in real time. While you're sitting in your own truck, think about what that means. You wake up one morning, you walk out to your driveway, you climb into a vehicle with your name on the title, on property with your name on the deed, and before you go anywhere, before you've done a single thing wrong, your truck is already running your face through a law enforcement database. Ford's own patent language describes this as potentially useful for police.
Okay, again, from my friend that works there that is involved in this stuff, he said, yeah, we have filed all those. You're right, we got about 5 of them. But it doesn't mean we're implementing them.
No. Except the kill switch one. That one's already been signed into law.
So the automatic violation reporting, this is 2024 patents that Ford has described as systems that turning standard vehicles into mobile surveillance units to assist law enforcement. Speed detection. The vehicle equipped with technology can detect nearby cars exceeding speed limit. Image capture transmission. If a violation is sensed, the car onboard cameras capture images or video of the offending vehicle. Direct reporting. The system can automatically transmit speed data, GPS location, imagery directly to the police vehicle or central server. The technology aims to make police work easier by removing the need for officers to personally identify each violation or engage in dangerous high-speed pursuits. Lip reading patent.
Lip reading. Cameras inside your cab. Machine learning.
Oh, please. I hope this isn't true.
Being trained on lip movement data sets. Cloud connected. Your face processed somewhere you'll never see, stored as long as they want. Acoustic lip reading. If the cameras aren't...
If this thing records me singing in my car, I have no problem with it because I'm Billboard. I'm going to go on Billboard charts.
It'll recommend a vocal teacher. For
enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves and reads the echoes bouncing off of your mouth.
Wait, hold on.
If the cameras aren't enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves
hold back
and reads
up.
the
Sorry, I'm
echo
very
you'll never see, stored as long as they want.
Right.
Acoustic lip reading. If the cameras aren't enough, the system emits inaudible sound waves and reads the echoes bouncing off of your mouth. You can't see it. It's just happening.
As long as it doesn't catch me picking my nose, I feel okay so far. Let's see.
Biometrics, your face, fingerprint, iris, filed February 2024, and it was published August 2025.
Okay, but again, does it mean that it's coming? Does it mean that you follow the money on everything? So what is the advantage of all of this stuff being there? It's easier for police. Who's pushing?
Insurance companies?
Insurance companies? Sure. And then?
Ad listening.
This would be good. Ad listening. Basically, the John Curley Show on KIRO Radio.
Monitors conversations between everyone in the cab. It serves targeted ads based on what you and others are talking about while you're driving. In Ford's words, maximum opportunity for ad-based monetization. No description of how that data is protected either.
Oh, my God. One last one. Fleet manager. Well, this one sounds good. This sounds like a good one. Somebody needs to manage the fleet. This one, let's see what this one does.
How about Ford Pro Telematics? Now, this one isn't a patent. This one is actually a product page. Right now, fleet managers can pull live in-cabin video feeds of drivers on their phones. Ford markets seatbelt compliance alerts with the explicit benefit of lowering insurance costs. They said it themselves. This is the infrastructure, and once the infrastructure exists, it's going to get used and abused.
Okay.
So that's for obviously semi-truck drivers, things like that.
Well, I get that. You know, if you are driving, and I'm sure there's some people out there driving for UPS, they'll tell you that you stop the car, you put it into park, and I think I remember this. Put it in the park, you unhook the seatbelt, it starts the timer, you open the door, it wants to know how quickly you're going from the front of the thing to the back, opening of the back, getting the package out, closing the back, getting back in, closing the door, how quickly you drive, whether you're accelerating faster, how hard you're braking on the thing. It keeps track of, we put the seatbelt back on, and it knows how much time you're spending at each one of these stops. Right. I get that because they want to make sure that it's for its efficiency. Everything's for efficiency. Every one of these things, somebody can justify. Now, what you're talking about in the car and playing ads for you, it's spying on you. There must be some point where the government comes in and says you should have some privacy while you're in your car. There should be some level of privacy that's expected. There is now, same way that people are going to, in the state of Washington, and especially in the city of Seattle, that your car is your home and they can't just come into your home. The same thing when a cop says, I'm going to search your car. He can't search the car without probable cause or without a warrant, or to get the dog that just accidentally happens to bark near the door, whatever. So this case, you have an expectation of privacy while driving and the thing gathering information for you. Here's where they start this. They'll say to you, how would you like to have $100 off your insurance thing? And you go, because I know people that have done this. Yeah, okay, then we're going to monitor how well you're driving, and we'll give you points. If you don't drive too fast, if you don't brake too hard, if you're not swerving, you will get a discount. So we'll incentivize you to, one, allow us to spy on you, and what do I get out of it? Well, you get $100 off or $200 off. Would you be happier with that? If you know that you're a good driver, why should you have to pay for the fact that everybody else is, or most people are crappy drivers? We all pay a lowest common denominator. If everybody's out there smashing into each other, a lot of people are, or a small percentage are, then everybody else has to cover that. So that's what insurance is. It creates an insurance pool. But if we could adjust people's behavior by incentivizing, that creates a better pool, so the rates don't have to be as high. And I wouldn't, if I would give up something if they had a better concentrated pool, and they do have that if you are, a certain type of driver, then you get a better rate than other people. And people that are bad drivers pay a higher rate. You all right with that? And then they just want to be able to judge what kind of driver you are. I would say most people lie to their insurance company. How far do you drive every day? How far to work? How many miles? Where's your house in relationship to this? I drive 8,000 miles a year. Right? Insurance company's like, okay, you're lying.
If you buy a 2028, Ford pickup, you won't have to. They won't even ask you the question anymore. Just be tapped in.
And
I doubt they're going to give you much breaks on the insurance. But here's the concerning thing.
Okay. Oh, that wasn't concerning enough. I have more. Go ahead. What else?
Well, it's the FISA. So right now, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act,
yes,
which allows the CIA and the NSA to basically spy on things they consider foreign threats, people, yes, whatever. They've also allowed the FBI to, in the current version of this bill, the FBI can warrantlessly spy on Americans.
Right.
And this is being debated in Congress right now. They're trying to change it. It expires, I think, March of next year as it stands, and they want to extend it with the same warrantless spying on Americans. So if the at some point in 2028, if the FBI thinks John Curley's up to no good, they can just take a look at your the camera that's in your brand new car and without a warrant, decide whether or not you're where they think you should be.
So I'll just behave myself. So the homicide rate in China, if you believe the numbers, and I've seen others that back it up, it's one, or used to be 1 in 100,000. It's now half of that in 100,000. So it is the argument, mm-hmm, and it is the idea: do we want a free society or we want a secure society? And to head to security, you give up freedom. And you don't have to worry about somebody mugging you or shooting you or whatever else, because we have clamped down all of that sort of stuff. You're not giving somebody the choice between whether or not I want to hit somebody in the head with a board, because there's a camera that got a picture of you picking up the board, plus the camera that also knows, because it looks at your face and it tells whatever it is, or it can read your mind as to where you plan on going and stop you.
You look like predictive AI will be able to tell just by the speed at which you're walking whether you have bad intentions.
Right, and then suddenly your pager blows your gonads off. Jeez, Joe, what a dark show.
I'll take freedom. This is happening right now. Like call your congressman.
Well, Massey tries to stop it. Republican Congressman Thomas Massey says.
So what we're talking about here is a kill switch in an automobile that would monitor the driving of a vehicle.
We know that, Tom.
And then stop the vehicle from operating if the car itself decides that the operator is not driving safely. Let's say a mother is driving a vehicle, taking her kids to work, and how does she appeal her conviction of a disabled minivan from the side of a road? How would you re-enable a car that's been disabled with this technology you're advocating for?
It's a good question, sir, Mr. Chair, members. Good question, and I'm not quite sure that I'm qualified to provide the technical answer that you're looking for there.
The only thing I have as a saving grace is the federal government and state government is so unbelievably screwed up that I'm just hoping they are as inefficient with all of the implications and all the additional actions that they won't succeed with it. As we go back, remember, of course, when Obamacare, trying to start the website, they couldn't put something like that together. I'm just counting on the numbskulls that are elected and the numbskulls that work for them to be motivated by more days off and less work and more fraud, waste, and abuse. Just waste the money somewhere else. I'm just counting on them to screw it up like they screw up everything else.
Good luck. AI works 24 hours a day.
Well, they're not going to know how to, or some union person's going to be, well, the AI replaced me, so protect me. I just gave you $1 million to get you elected. Here's Nate checking traffic.
Hey, thanks, John. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. Tacoma, South 5 in front of the Dome. Got this crash blocking the HOV bypass lane. So we've got a hefty backup starting at State Route 18. Federal Way to Tacoma is a 40-minute drive. A tow has arrived, so this should be cleared shortly. Seattle to Federal Way, even prior to this backup, is another 40-minute commute. Your stop and go from MLK Junior Way to 516. Renton to Puyallup on 167, also a 40-minute commute. Bellevue, South 405 is slow from 520 to the Renton Landing. That earlier crash before 520 is on the right shoulder. It's not a blocking issue anymore. Bellevue to Renton's going to take you a half hour. North 5, solid from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal. 45 minutes just to get through this, but once you do, it's another 1 hour commute into Everett. Bellevue to Everett, also 1 hour. South 5 into Seattle, heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. And if you're crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, plan on 35 minutes on 520, 25 minutes on I-90. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus thousands of dollars off complete home installs through April 30th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Holy smokes!
The On Cruise Adventures Rick Riz Show.
What happened at the ballpark yesterday?
Sparky's sitting on my scorebook here, my cat.
Friday mornings at 8:15 on Seattle's Morning News.
Let Olympic help you create the ultimate home contrast therapy studio. Pair relaxing Tilo sauna with our revitalizing Vigor cold plunge. Save up to $5,000 when you buy both. These massive savings end April 30th.
Insulation rebates from PSE are at historic highs. American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $3 million in PSE insulation rebates last year, more than any contractor in Washington. Homeowners, business owners, and PSE trust American Crawl Space and Pest Services. Was your home built before 1990? Visit AmericanCrawl.com to see how much you can save on replacing your insulation.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Hey homeowners, are you stuck on the credit card treadmill and stressed because your consumer debt and monthly payments are too high? Well, Brock Hewitt here with a smart solution. Your home's equity in the Seattle Metro is probably larger than ever. It's like you're sitting on a stack of cash. Consider a cash-out refinance with Tila Mortgage to consolidate your high-balance credit cards, second mortgages, home equity lines of credit, and student loans, or get cash for a remodel. With interest rates finally coming down, consolidating your debt now may be the best decision you ever make. With excellent client reviews and trusted in Washington for over 25 years, Tila has competitive rates on refinance, purchase, or reverse mortgages too. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Call Tila Mortgage today, 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
TilaMortgage.com.
Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explain this to them that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Amazon says its multi-billion-dollar investment in AI is paying off. Company beating first quarter expectations, reporting revenue of more than $181 billion. Its cloud division, Amazon Web Services, grew 28%. CEO Andy Jassy says as AWS grows, AI spending will follow.
AWS is to lay out cash for land, power, buildings, chips, servers, and networking gear in advance of when we can monetize it.
And the company spent $60 billion in Q1, mainly on AI. A similar story at Microsoft, which brought in nearly $83 billion in revenue last quarter. Microsoft also spending billions more on infrastructure this quarter. Washington Congressman Adam Smith had some choice words for Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, who testified on Capitol Hill today about the cost and justification of the Iran war. KIRO News Radio's John Repp has that story.
The hearing focused on the proposed $1.5 trillion in defense spending, a historic budget amount. Congressman Adam Smith, ranking member on the House Armed Services Committee, said the administration needs a reality check.
Was it a week ago Friday, the president announced that Iran had agreed to give up their nuclear program, to give up their ballistic missile program, to stop support for terrorist groups, to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The only problem with that is literally none of that was true.
He asked Hegseth for a more concrete plan, noting the cost in dollars, human lives, and global impact. John Repp, KIRO News Radio.
We are continuing to break records for gas prices around the states. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports from Renton, where we're seeing new all-time highs.
The 76 here in the Benson Hill neighborhood of Renton, pretty high. I mean, for that debit price, $6.39, that is much higher than King County's already high average. In the Seattle, Bellevue, and Everett market, markets, the average cost of a gallon of regular is $5.74, which surpasses the previous record set in June of 2022.
And the current national average for gas, $4.23 a gallon. Seattle bike commuters logged more than 3 million miles around the city last year. That's according to a new study from the fitness app Strava. It's enough to lead the nation, followed by Chicago and Minneapolis-St. Paul. Seattle Times reports most popular routes along the city include Westlake and the Burke-Gilman Trail. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:32. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Aaron, the Puyallup RV Show has our update. Well, as we had thought by now, we cleared that crash South 5 in front of the Tacoma Dome, but it left you with a hefty backup starting at South 320. As Federal Way to Tacoma is a 40-minute drive. That's double the norm. Over to Sumner, where we have a new collision southbound on the Valley Freeway at 410. A collision blocks your right lane, leaving one lane open, and you're stacked up to State Route 18. Tacoma to Olympia looking good this afternoon, less than 40 minutes. Over to the east side, South 405 is heavy from 520 all the way to the Renton Landing. Bellevue to Renton is going to take you a half hour. Here in Seattle, to no surprise, it is packed from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes just to get through downtown Seattle. Once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, we have more heavy volumes from Northgate through Linwood, so it's another hour from Seattle into Everett. Northbound 99 is heavy through the downtown tunnel to South Lake Union. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5 minutes. It's solid from Kirkland all the way to that Alderwood interchange. And South 5 into Seattle is packed from Lake City Way to I-90. The Puyallup RV Show this Thursday through Sunday. Shop hundreds of new and used RVs, manufactured homes, and get show-only prices. There's also free parking. Tickets at PuyallupRVShow.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Got some warmer days ahead of us. A few more clouds come tomorrow. Partly to mainly cloudy Friday, but staying dry. Sun returns through the weekend. Right now, looking at 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From downpours to backups, whatever's waiting for you when you head out the door, KIRO 7 News in the Morning will get you prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. Watch KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Thank you, Joe. Well said, well read. Buggies. Buggies Auto Service Center. Yeah, Buggies. Buggies Auto Service Center. That's Aaron and Nate and Andrew all get in the car and go to Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. There's nothing wrong with their car. Just going there because they just like Buc-ee's. They got 16 locations. Aaron likes the pneumatic drill. The smell of their popcorn. And Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's Auto Service Centers. Take a field trip to Buc-ee's. 50 locations. 50 years. 50 years. Okay, stop because we got yelled at yesterday because we went on too long.
Popcorn balls, they're the worst.
Thank you, Sherry. Let's see. I looked up our fearless leader there in Seattle is very excited about the fact that the folks in Seattle have agreed to another levy, $1.3 billion, which will add $600 a year to your growing property tax in Seattle. So the average home is $872,000. Total amount of taxes paid, $8,000. And when you look, often these people that are in Seattle that really love taxes. I looked to see when was the last time the people of Seattle rejected a tax. Let's see. How old were you in 1995, Joe?
15.
Okay. When you were 15 years old, they rejected the community levy. They had the Seattle Common Levy. They were going to set up this great big park. They said no to that one. How old were you in 1970?
Didn't exist yet.
Well, they said no to that tax. So we back I go to 95 when you were 50. Like 1970 weren't existing yet, but they said no to the thrust forward, the idea of they're going to do all the building and they're going to have the road go up, not go into two lanes, and they said no to that. They said no to a tax increase in 1995. But ever since that time, the people of Seattle just really can't get enough of taxes. So the new one is $1.3 billion, which will allow the government to feed your children, because God forbid you feed your kids. And then also they want to have
daycare that's open for a longer period of time, more daycare centers, so that the government can also help raise your child. And the people in Seattle are all in on it. Yeah, tax me more. $1.3 billion on top. And then I guess the story got kind of overlooked because while Katie Wilson was talking all about it, shocking that somebody was shooting at somebody.
Gunfire in Seattle at the same location where Mayor Katie Wilson was holding an event.
Wouldn't it have been ironic if she was there to talk about how much safer the city is?
Take a look. Our photographer found bullet holes in a door of the Yesler Community Center. Mayor Wilson had just held an event in a different area of the same property and was still at the community center when the shooting happened. Our photographer heard the gunshots and estimates the mayor was about 50 yards from where the bullet struck. But the two areas are separated by a hill and the building. Seattle police say they received a report of multiple people shooting near the community center and no injuries were reported. Witnesses told police the suspects left the area in an unidentified vehicle. Mayor Wilson released a statement that reads in part, quote, shortly following.
Are there cameras around there? This is near Yesler. Do they have the surveillance cameras up at near the Yesler Community Center? I would guess yes, they have the cameras.
Probably not turned on.
Well, look online to see if they turn on. Because remember, it was as Katie ran into a bit of an S-storm because people were upset that they were going to be having surveillance cameras on. So she said, well, only if we knew there was an imminent threat, we knew that all of a sudden we were going to have some problems, we'd turn the cameras on.
In relation to the World Cup. So I don't think any of them are on right now, at least not.
Check that one, Joe.
Following my announcement of new investments in Seattle's children and families today, we heard gunfire. No one was injured, but it was a stark reminder of a reality too many people in this city live with every day. We cannot let this become normal. We must invest in opportunity, and we must continue working to keep people safe.
Invest in, what do you mean spend money on opportunity? It's a teeny, tiny percentage of people that break the law, that have a gun, that go and shoot somebody with a gun who then also probably has a gun and shoots back at them. It's infinitesimal, but it's there. And I forget what the total number is. I've seen it in different cities. And it's normally the same people. If they don't end up in prison, they end up in the morgue. Most people some outgrow it. But it's, again, a tiny fraction of the overall population that are committing these crimes. But we're going to invest in all this other stuff over here, and we're going to tax ammunition, and then the money's going to go into some harm reduction or some violence reduction program that I think Harborview is involved in. I tried to find the metrics as to what's that all about. Where's that money going? You can't see any of it, but there's all this money flying all over the place. Do you know who the people are? You know they've got the guns. You know that what they're doing with them. You could get in there and go get them, but you don't want to do it. And then bullets flying 50 yards away from Katie Wilson. Okay, is it running? They have cameras running on that area?
Not surveillance cameras. There's traffic cameras, but I don't know.
Okay, they wouldn't get it, yeah. I looked up to see, I've really learned, I have this love-hate. I love to hate Chat GPT now because every time I put something in, it gets back to me, you're simplifying. And I hate it. I have its voice in my head. That's a fairly rudimentary view. Or I get this. Well, if you want to be really simplistic, I wrote, do the people of Seattle, do renters tend to vote yes for tax increases? And it says, I see where you're going with this. Oh, no, you don't. My point is, I don't know if a lot of renters realize, it's going to be a property tax. Oh, good, tax them. How many renters know that when the property tax comes in, the landlord just takes that bill and then divides it over the number of units in the building? What percentage of people?
That's not a very difficult equation. I rent. I know that. I'm not very smart.
Andrew, I think you've got that one. You knew that?
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of other people know that?
I don't think when they vote on a levy, they assume, I'm not going to bear any of this cost.
They just like the idea. But the other weird part of it is the number of renters and that also have children is very low. So why would they vote to have the government feed people's kids?
This is This hasn't passed yet, right?
The $600?
Yeah, it's still got that's going to go on November ballot, right?
No, that one's locked in.
This one is.
Joe, shabaha. I see where you're going with this, Joe. I'm hit you with the chat thing on it. Yeah, where is it? I just had it. Yeah, so this is yeah. So this is affordability now. So Katie, she's touting the new one. She's pushing for this thing to make it more affordable. She says she's expanding the meals for everybody. The city's going to roll out 600 daycare slots. All you have to do is just get the rest of the council to go along with it. Signaling broad support. Final approval is expected soon. It's not going to the voters.
Oh, this is a council.
Yeah, they will agree to this thing. The city leaders are rolling out the benefits, fueled by a massive tax hike, calling it affordability.
So they're just deciding how to spend the money now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all part of the levy that went in place.
I know that. I'm not very smart.
Okay. All right. Nathan, checking traffic, Nathan.
This one's brought to us by the Puyallup RV Show. In Sumner, southbound 167 at State Route 410. We've got a collision taking up your right lane. So that leaves one lane open, and you're backed up to State Route 18. But even prior to that, we've got backups coming out of Renton through Kent. So Renton to Puyallup is a 40-minute drive. Collision partially blocking the Northeast 30th on-ramp to South 405 in Renton. That's, again, on the ramp, not the main line. North 405, heavy from South Center through the Renton S-curve. South Center to Bellevue, under 25 minutes now. Federal Way to Tacoma is still struggling at 40 minutes. It is packed from South 320th into Fife, and then you'll start to thin out. Head over to Highway 99. That route is wide open. Southbound 509 is got about a mile-plus bumper-to-bumper backup now, approaching Alexander Avenue. Here in Seattle, 45 minutes to get through downtown on northbound I-5. Westbound 520 jams up mid-span over to I-5. Westbound 90, you're slow from the East Channel Bridge to I-5, right around a half-hour commute from Bellevue on both of these routes. The Puyallup RV Show this Thursday through Sunday. Shop hundreds of new and used RVs, manufactured homes, and get show-only prices. There's also free parking. Tickets at PuyallupRVShow.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. K2 Vision wants you to know that if you're over the age of 50 and you don't want to wear readers, glasses, or contacts anymore and concerned about cataracts, then you might consider RLE, refractive lens exchange. Now, I'll tell you from a personal experience, I think it was 5-6 years ago, when I went to the doctor and he said, well, you need another prescription for your glasses. And they kept getting thicker and thicker. And I was like, wait, easier to wear at night. Then I had to get another pair. He said, well, we could have a bifocal thing. You could look down, look up, and just give me another pair. I had a whole drawer full of glasses. And I'm so disorganized with these things. I had to put the ones on to drive at night. Oh, my God, it's too close. I forget this. So I go to K2 Vision there. I meet Dr. Kopstein. He says, listen, your eyes are in really bad shape. This is going to have great effect for you if we do RLE. I said, sign me up. Let's do it. So 5 minutes, one eye, 5 or the other. The next day I go back. I have 20/20 vision. No more glasses. No more contacts. None of that. 20/20 vision. At my age, it works. Check them out. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief. The best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
With summer right around the corner, Valentine Roofing's schedule is filling up fast. Jake Skorheim here. I want to give you 3 reasons why you should pick up the phone and call Valentine today. Number 1, there's still time to beat the summer rush and get your roof started in as little as 3 weeks. Number 2, when the nice weather hits, you'll be enjoying your backyard instead of worrying about your roof. And 3, with the increased cost of crude oil, material prices going up, shipping prices going up, lock in your price now before the market absorbs all those price increases. Call 206 Roofing today, and I guarantee there'll be no surprises, just a clear estimate you can trust. And once you choose Valentine Roofing, here's what you can expect. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. That's the Valentine experience and the reason that they were awarded the 2025 Gold for Best Roofing Company by the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Call 206 Roofing today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Looking for lumber with a story? Then you've got to check out the new Earthwise Salvage Lumber Warehouse in Soto. Be the first to get your hands on reclaimed lumber with original character and local history. Their warehouse is packed with new inventory now. But when this wood is gone, it's gone. So act fast. Come visit the Salvage Lumber Warehouse for the grand opening on May 2nd from 11 to 3 in Soto. And remember, this lumber is harvested from structures, not forests. Find them at ewsalvage.com.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind, no maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
Missing teeth or tired of dentures? South Seattle Smiles offers permanent dental implants to restore your smile. Ask about their discount cash pricing and get a free consultation. Call South Seattle Smiles or visit southseattlesmiles.com.
Marcos Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. Good news for you, Joe. Looks like Little Caesars is now testing drone delivery systems.
Yum!
But wait, this just in.
Don't bother calling your congressman.
You have. I'm not saying hijacked. Just this is like you're taking a long road trip, and somebody, I'll drive for a while, and then you move into the passenger seat, and then the other person's driving. You're like, whoa, hey, slow down. Where are we going? Like, Joe's at the wheel. So where is it? Surveillance too much?
Well, the news is just
the 702, the FISA. This is basically what it is. The government is allowed to spy on foreign officials, foreign people that are not U.S. citizens. Part of the problem is occasionally American citizens will get swept up in that. You don't need a warrant necessarily. You can go to the FISA court and you could say, we have a reason we need to
tap their phones. We need to read their emails. We need to do this sort of stuff. Like Kevin Kleinsmith, who went to the FISA court and lied to them and in order to continue to spy on the Trump campaign. And then Kleinsmith gets, I think I don't forget how many days probation, and then never had to serve anything. The judge says like, oh yeah, I can see he just wanted to do that just to save himself some time. He went to the court, lied to the court, and ended up not serving any time on it. But the court is set up, the secret FISA court is set up to allow the government to spy on citizens. You have to show you have good cause to do that. There was a debate. It took, I don't know how many hours, where they finally said, are we going to keep this thing going? Because I think they can extend it or let it expire. Right. And they've decided to extend it for another 3 years.
3 years.
Yes.
And the FBI can spy on any American without a warrant through any device.
If you go to the court, you have to show the court with good cause as to why we are going after this American citizen. Because you also have to be able to show this American citizen is somehow being involved with nefarious actions that could be disruptive to the peace of America, because they're teaming up with some other country and they're trying to do something to the rest of us here. That's you can't just spy on two American citizens. You have to also have the third party has to be a foreign national is involved somehow.
If you say so.
That's what the FISA court deals with.
Well, but you've got Thomas Massey, you've got Keith Self, all these Republican congressmen saying this is a massive, massive problem.
The FISA court and the 702 established after 9/11, when all of a sudden, when we need to do stuff, they came up with a Patriot Act and a whole bunch of other nonsense to keep all of us safe. But what we are giving up is our own freedom. And then, of course, they're allowed to follow you. If you happen to be a January 6th person, you were down there and you happen to be walking around outside, you weren't one of the knuckleheads that went inside and took a tour, well, then they know your cell phone. They can pull your records. They can ask, without a warrant, they can ask AT&T or Chase, show us what you purchased. Let's see, did you buy a Bible or did you buy a flag or what did you buy? We want to see what you bought. We want to see where you went. We want to see where you spent your time at your hotel room, and all of those various credit card companies and telecommunication companies just turned over everything to the government.
And will continue to do so.
That's why I highly promote the Cricket phone.
Get a tin can.
Yeah, here's Nate's going to help you. And no one's spying on you. He's just telling you where the roads are. Nathan?
Yes, sir. Sumner, southbound 167 at 410. That earlier collision now sits on your right shoulder, so it's no longer blocking, and it opens up a lane for you. Federal Way to Tacoma has improved a half hour, but your backup now starts back at South 288th and goes through that Fife curve. North 5 in Seattle, we're bumper to bumper from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes to get through this. Northbound 99, a great option, but it is bumper to bumper through that downtown tunnel. Now, Seattle to Everett, once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, it's heavy from Northgate through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 10 minutes. North 405, you're packed from Kirkland to Alderwood. Everett to Marysville, 15 minutes. It's slow from 526 to 529, and you're extra heavy up to Broadway. And on the water, the Mukilteo Ferry Terminal reporting a 1 hour wait for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right. Thank you, Nate. I know as we get older, there's a couple things we value the most, and that's time, right? Like, for instance, your time enjoying your house. On a hot summer day, you head inside, AC's working, you enjoy it. Same thing when it goes cold outside, warm inside. You just want to be able to enjoy yourself. And the heating and cooling system, when those things go out, well, this is affecting your comfort and your time. Now you have to replace it. So let's save you some time and keep your comfort. You ready for this? Home Comfort Alliance now has an online price estimator. It takes just 60 seconds. You can do it on your phone. It's clear. It's honest information that gives you great information to make the right decision, so you're not wasting any of your time. You want to upgrade to a Lennox cooling system? Home Comfort Alliance will give you a new heating system free. Plus, they handle all the utility rebates and the available discounts to get you the best possible value on Lennox. For a quote right now that's fast and accurate with all the information you need. That's homecomfortalliance.com. For heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs, it's homecomfortalliance.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment, how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
The future of home comfort is here. The new Carrier Infinity system delivers premium home heating and cooling with innovative filtration for healthy air and over-the-air software updates that help optimize performance. Carrier, for the world we share.
Save up to $2,100 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates when you purchase a premium heating or cooling system, while also taking advantage of a special financing offer of 0% APR for 60 months. For details, visit CarrierNorthwest.com. That's CarrierNorthwest.com.
Total Wellness at Home is here. Save up to $2,800 on a saltwater hot spring spa and enjoy healthy, relaxing soaks. Save up to $12,000 on an endless pool swim spa for a year-round retreat. These massive savings end April 30th.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Supreme Court weakens a tool of the Voting Rights Act, finding that a black majority congressional district in Louisiana relied too heavily on race. CBS's Jan Crawford.
Justice Alito, who wrote this decision for the court's conservatives, spoke of kind of the vast social change that's happened across the country, and particularly in the Deep South, where most of these districts have been drawn. As he suggested, that now going forward, that discrimination, before you can use race and look at race and really any government action, needs to be intentional, present-day discrimination.
For the first time, officials are laying out the cost of the war with Iran. It was a fiery exchange between Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and lawmakers on Capitol Hill. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns reports.
Greeted by protesters on Capitol Hill, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth set the tone in the opening minutes, calling war critics the enemy.
The biggest challenge, the biggest adversary we face at this point are the reckless, feckless, and defeatist words of congressional Democrats and some Republicans.
Pentagon officials revealed that the war, now in its 9th week, has cost $25 billion.
Former FBI Director James Comey did not enter a plea in court today to charges of making threats against President Trump. The charge follows a photo he posted on Instagram last year showing seashells arranged in the sand with the numbers 86-47. CBS's Jake Rosen.
This is likely to get challenged on a number of different things, not just the First Amendment grounds that are really thrown up in the air as a result of this. This is just not typically something the Department of Justice would go after someone for, but also a number of grounds, including selective and vindictive prosecution, which James Comey's legal team said in court they're going to do.
It has been 1 week of severe weather across the central and southern U.S. Texas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Missouri all hard hit in the past 24 hours. CBS's Jason Allen in Mineral Wells, Texas.
People in this neighborhood told me this storm came in fast. They could see power flashes, they could hear a roar, and then within seconds, it was on top of them, going right across the top of this neighborhood, then down a hill into another one, tearing apart homes and businesses.
A year-long DNA study of New York City's East River gives a snapshot of life around the city. Lead study author Mark Stuckel at Rockefeller University says they found that there are a lot of fish migrating in and out of the city now that the East River is much cleaner than it was 20 years ago. And the study?
It tells the environment getting better or worse, or the things we're doing helping it or not. And also, with climate change is another concern.
This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
Coming up, an attempted kidnapping suspect now charged. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thank you, Aaron. Your Seattle Mariners have the update. Lakewood, we've got a new collision. South 5 and South 96. It's in your right lane. You're backed up to State Route 16. So Tacoma to Olympia has gone up to a 55-minute drive. And really, outside of this backup, there's only another brief backup at the JBLM main gate. Otherwise, this route is wide open for you. Federway to Tacoma, a half hour. You've got a solid backup now from 320th into Tacoma. These backups are almost connecting here. North 5, you're slow from the Fife curve to State Route 18. It is busy down there. Here in Seattle, North 5, it's solid from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes just to get through downtown Seattle. Northbound 99, a great alternate route, but just know it is bumper to bumper through the downtown tunnel. Seattle to Everett's going to take you 1 hour. Once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, it's heavy from Northgate through Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, hour 10. 405 is packed from Kirkland all the way up to the Alderwood interchange. And South 5 heading into Seattle, you're going to slow at 85th down to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you just under 25 minutes. Randy Johnson number retirement ceremony night presented by T-Mobile Saturday, May 2nd. Get your tickets at mariners.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo, and new tonight, a Seattle man is now charged with trying to abduct a little girl this past weekend. The latest from KIRO Radio's Frank Lindsay.
22-year-old Christian Boogie Markham is charged with second-degree attempted kidnapping. Authorities say on Saturday he tried to grab and drag an 8-year-old girl from a West Seattle sidewalk. They say he was armed with a knife at the time. The girl screamed, alerting nearby adults, and he ran away. Casey McNerthney is with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
I'm not sure that anybody involved will ever be the same because you always worry about allegations like this happening.
Police used surveillance video to identify him, and they picked him up not far from the scene the next day. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Deputies have evacuated an area near the Capitol State Forest in Thurston County after a possible pipe bomb was found there. Thurston County Sheriff's Office says it was found near Waddle Creek Road Southwest near Lake Lucinda. State Patrol says nearby buildings were cleared as a precaution. Still unclear how that device was discovered. Seattle's Taproot Theater is asking for help after copper thieves wrecked its HVAC system. Theater hoping to raise $400,000 to replace it before the weather heats up this summer. Artistic director Karen Lund says the loss threatens summer performances and kids' classes during its milestone 50th season.
We have really got to solve this problem by the beginning of June, or we're going to have to figure out alternatives. I'm nervous about having to shut down our programming, and that's why we're asking for help.
And you can find information on how to donate at mynorthwest.com. Everett City Council has approved more money for a new stadium to host the Everett Aqua Sox. KIRO 7 TV's Jake Chapman reports supporters say it is needed to meet updated Major League Baseball standards.
The city says the new location will not only keep the team in town, but bring in even more growth to the city. City Council passed an additional $10.6 million to be spent on the $120 million project. That money is coming from what the city calls an interfund, which is part of the city's general fund.
And the council voted 6-1 in favor of approving that funding. To your forecast now, we see sunny skies right now. A bit more cloudy tomorrow, but still temperatures on the rise. Low 70s for Thursday. Right now, 66 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
What the hell's going on here? Geez, well, isn't it the last hour? We got another hour to do? Geez, I thought we were almost finished. Good golly, Miss Molly.
Just having a tough day. Casey Kasem. He's R.I.P. Casey Kasem. You ever hear the story about they couldn't find his body? His family, they lived around here in the Pacific Northwest, and they didn't know where he'd gone.
I thought it was like a dispute over who could take possession of it. They're fighting over his inheritance.
His remains or something?
Well, I think...
I wish we had like a machine, like a typewriter that you could type in. Like somebody look in there, they could just sort of see.
Good idea.
Casey Kasem's remains. Diving into the news. Get down. He's down on the phone. Get down on the phone. Where are those pictures? A dead dog dedication. I read a piece today. I highly recommend that you subscribe to the Free Press. Now, you might not like Barry Weiss. You might not like the fact that CBS News has seen the lowest ratings ever because she put somebody in there and people are going after her saying, oh, this is Barry Weiss. She's destroying CBS and the anchor is terrible and the CBS News is in a bad shape. But I do like the fact that she gets a whole bunch of different perspectives together. And I do like reading it every morning. And here's one of the headlines. Ben Shapiro, this is what happens when institutions fail. And he basically lays out, we are at the first line. He says, why do we seem to hate each other so much in the United States? Why do so many people seem obsessed with conspiracies? You know, steeped in anger and ready to spend large segments of their day fomenting on the internet about people they don't like, on topics they know nothing about. There's one simple answer. Our institutions are failing. Then he goes on, and of course, you know with the institutions, right? There would be religious, media, government, institutions of higher learning. She said they're failing, and when those structures, those pillars of society fail, then the rest of us are kind of left on our own to start going after one another. And then always assuming that the other person has the worst intentions in mind. And only you are acting to care for other people, that the other person is out to get everybody. And once that happens, it's fairly a dark essay leading you all the way through to, we better do something about this. But I don't know how you reinstate some sense of respect for institutions. He never gets to how to fix it. He just sort of points, oh, here it is, solution. At the end of the day, none of this is simply solved by jawing at one another. Is there another one of these great internet myths? Debate with me, bro. I guess it's people getting the people that are in these institutions to regain the trust and then being honest with people, whether they like it or not. I think also in the family, we can reestablish trust in institutions. I saw another article today. These sort of fit together. This guy tells a story about, he was a little kid, and he tries out for this baseball team. And then he gets a call in the evening. He takes the call, and the coach says to him, look, we only need 16 on the team. You're the 17th. You were so close. You need to work on these 3 things. Kid hangs up the phone, lip starts to quiver, goes into the bedroom, and starts crying. Father knocks at the door. Can I come in? I know you're taking this as kind of tough. Right here, this is where in the home, between the father and the son, that the institution of faith and the having a position of authority respected, because you could break it, or you could start to instill in that young man that you trust the people that have the authority. So the father could have easily said, God doesn't know what he's talking about. You're great. You're a great baseball player. That guy's a jerk. You don't want to work for him anyway. You don't want to play for him anyway. Don't worry about it. You're a great baseball player. And that guy, he never liked you from the very beginning, right? It's the dad crapping all over the coach and making the kid feel better. Because let's face it, it's an extension of the father, the fact that the kid isn't good, so the guy takes it personally. Side note, yesterday, a total stranger who came up to give my dogs a bit of ham. And I was so pleased when Twiggy sat. It was like a reflection of me. Because the guy goes, does your dog know how to sit? I said, yes, my dog does know how to sit. And Twiggy's like, ah. I'm like, Twiggy, sit, show him. That's your only trick I taught you. And then the dog sat. I was like, yeah, see that? There's a good dog.
Was this
right
before
back to me.
Or after she chewed through Lily's?
Whatever. Anyway, listen. So there's the dad sitting there on the kid's bed, the edge of the bed, saying, yeah, that coach stinks. And you're right. He's horrible. I never liked him anyway, right? You plant the seed where it's not you, it's the authority figure. Instead, what the dad did, he said, well, that's tough, but how do you feel about the 3 things that he told you to work on? Well, I know the kid says, I don't know. I mean, I guess, do you want to be on the team? And the kid says, yeah, I do want to be on the team. So the father says, I'll tell you what, I respect that. So let's do this. Every night when I get home from school, we're going to go to the park down the street, and we're going to work on the batting. And we're going to work on our stance. We're going to work hitting, bunting. We're going to work on our fielding. We'll do all the things that the coach said you needed to work on. And sure enough, as this guy writes this essay, every summer, every night, or not every night, not every summer, but every night, he said his dad would come home tired, but you see he's like, that's right, okay, let's get the bat and ball, let's head on over there. And the story ends this way. The guy ends up getting a scholarship to Stanford to play baseball. Now, if the father had dumped all over the coaches and said they don't know what they're talking about, then you break the level of authority. You put the seed of doubt that there's nothing wrong with you. It's those other people, right? And you could do it with police. You could do it with judges. You could do it with politicians. You could do it with anybody in any position of authority. Who are they to correct who you are? And it starts with the parent telling the kid, yep, that person is in a position of authority. And of course, the parent has to realize that, it's not some crazy teacher that wants to tell the child who's 4 years old that they could be a girl or a boy. They have to respect the authority, but it has to be the parent's choice to guide the child to realize, hey, the coaches were right in the first place. And I like that. Now, I lived in a house where my father was constantly teaching us stuff. In fact, all of my friends used to call him the professor, because my father, if ever got any of my friends in a room, he's like, well, do you know how the International Monetary Fund does it? And the kids are like, no, Mr. Curley. All right, look at it. So what you have is you got the Fed, which established in 1913. Okay, you know anything about the Depression? At this point, my friend's like, let's get the hell out of here. And I used to leave my friend in the living room. I would leave them in there and I'd go in the other room and I'm like, my mom's like, what's going on? What are you doing in here? I said, oh my God. Schmitty's getting a turn with the professor. And I hear my dad going, no, that's not right. I told you it was 1913. So the banks have to lend to each other. Schmitty, what are the banks doing? Right? I'm like, God, my friends are like, don't go in the room with Mr. Curley. Here's another example. He used to teach us stuff. We were playing Monopoly. We had this one summer. We played nothing but chess. And then the next summer, we happened to get this thing where we played Monopoly every single day. And my father decided he was going to teach us corruption. So what he did is he bought another Monopoly game, and he got all the money out of the other Monopoly game, and he put a red magic marker line through it, right? And he had all the bills off to the side. And then what happened was he gave everybody a certain percentage of these things. And he said, if anybody doesn't like a rule, pacing or going past Park Place or a Baltic Avenue or whatever it is, and you could put one hotel on there. If you don't like a rule, then we could all vote as to whether or not we want to change the rules. Then we realized there were some people that my dad would put my sister in charge. So what you could do is you could go to my sister, give her some of your extra money that has the red lines on it in order to get her to change some of the rules. And what my father was trying to show us, after a short period of time, the number of dollars, the fake dollars, the Monopoly bills that were on there that had red lines through it. He said, look at this. Look how quickly your desire to change the rules affected the people that were making the rules. And look at all the extra money that's out on the table that has the red line through it. That's all money that was used for your own benefit. And look at it's all floating around out there. And we quickly learned that if you really wanted to get something done, all you had to do was go to the people that were in charge and give them a little something so that they would then allow you to have 3 or 4 hotels somewhere. Or you could declare one of the laws, if somebody has more than 2 hotels, it's not fair, and you can declare the hotels to be taken away because you want to build something else in there. I mean, we come up with all sorts of rules. And because we were able to come up with our own rules, then there was no more structure in place. And the game kept going on and on and on, and there were no winners. And I remember at the end of the summer, whenever we finally decided to give up on the game, we realized, like, look at this. If you don't respect authority and you don't have any trust and everybody's in it for themselves, then there's total pandemonium. And that's what we'd have. Like, oh, let's come up with a rule that if you roll a 4, then you can get like 3 more rolls. I'm like, that seems like a good one. And you'd roll a 4 and then you're like, just whatever you could do to screw it up for everybody else.
Well, that sounds a lot like lobbyists paying members of Congress
Absolutely.
to put regulations or deregulations in a spending bill.
Low trust societies, unfortunately, we are heading in that direction. They say that about certain countries where, since 93, Somalia, anybody in Somalia has not had any sort of functioning government. It's low trust. It's every man for himself. It's very tribal. We have that now. When you look and you see that the King County Regional Housing Authority has wasted close to maybe $1 billion. They can't find $45 million or whatever, and they waste this money and that money. You see that the folks in Olympia, just $1 billion gone here, gone there. You're like, well, they're just stealing this stuff from me. So then I'll just steal stuff by not paying for this or not pay for that, because everybody's cheating the system. So why should I be the sap who doesn't cheat the system? But they look at the government as there's a fallen institution that has no respect for your money, so I have no respect for them. You see it in certain countries, like in Russia. When I went to Russia many years ago, I'm talking to this Russian guy, and he's like, well, the government is stealing, so we all steal. No one obeys the laws. The government doesn't obey the laws that they put in place, so why should I? And that's what we have. And unfortunately, that's what it's come to. And I don't know how to reinstill it. I don't know how to start it again, where people go, no. We are going to be good stewards with your money. And this is the rule, and you follow the rule. Like, for instance, if all of a sudden we found out that a major league umpire was a thief and a crook, and he was calling games in a particular way in order to benefit himself, right? That guy would never see him again, because you got to get him out of there right away. If not, then you find out, as we're making this up, that he and 25 other umps are also on the take. And it's all part of some cartel that's paying him all this money in order to call balls and strikes a particular way. And then you find out that there's another group above the cartel that's in charge of all this sort of stuff, that's involved in all the betting, and they got all the control. How long do you think baseball would last?
I mean, this literally happened in the NBA.
Right, I know. How long would baseball last if all of a sudden, because why bother watching?
Yeah.
Oh, he's going to call a strike.
Right.
And, it's a ball. What do you know? That someone has to believe that the people that are in charge are being truthful and honest and playing by the rules. Because as soon as you sense that there are no rules, just like our Monopoly game, they go on and on and on. If there are no rules, there would be no more baseball, because no one trusts it. And the same thing happens now. I see, if you tax me and I give you, you tax me, I don't give you, you take it from me. You tax me and the money goes to some whatever, Climate Commitment Act, and you're supposed to take that money, reduce CO2, and you don't. You waste it. You give it to a bunch of knuckleheads. Well, then how do I feel about filling up my car every day? I know that money's just being stolen and wasted. So how do I respond to that? Well, then you get mad about something else and you decide, well, screw it, I'm not going to pay this or not going to pay that. That's why a lot of people are not paying for the registration on their cars. They're not paying that because they know that they jacked up the number. They don't go with the blue book. They go with a much higher cost in order to pay for sound transit, which no one's on. And that is a low trust society. And once you get into that, holy moly, then it's just every man for himself.
And it happens at all levels of government. It has been for so long. You gave me that book by Ken Buck, who talked about why he quit being, working in Congress, because it was just the level of corruption was ridiculous. It was staggering. He couldn't live with himself, so he quit, and he wrote a book about it. And it's shocking. What's the name of the book? Drain the Swamp.
Drain the Swamp.
Yeah, it is.
In 2017. Drain the Swamp.
If you want to have low trust, read that book. I don't recommend it. But it's like you said earlier, most people are just worried about how to feed their dog or their kid, or there's only, 16 waking hours in the day and you got to work half of them and you got to, have some fun in the other half. And most people don't even realize it.
And I think as people become more and more aware of the waste and the fraud and the corruption of the institutions, you have two choices. You can scream at the radio or the television or the internet or whatever, or you can just say, whatever, and then just, tie one on a Friday night and just screw it, whatever, right? And then just break what other laws you feel like breaking because, no one else is paying attention. Nobody else cares. So you just, everybody's got their own little personal chaos happening.
Yep.
Or we go to a highly sophisticated surveillance society. No, Joe, it's true. And then you just say, well, you're not going to have any choices.
I'll take.
So would you rather have a low trust society where people are at each other's throats, where the government is wasting money, where no one is held accountable, or do we go to the surveillance where you really can't go wrong because they're going to make sure nothing goes wrong?
Yeah, you can't spend $1 without them knowing where it's going or who it's coming from. That is a very deep question.
And unfortunately, it seems like those are the two choices. But a good parent would tell their kid, you know what, you suck at baseball. Your coach was right. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. North 5 through Seattle, it's still real busy. It's bumper to bumper from that Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. 45 minutes just to get through downtown Seattle. Northbound 99, a good alternate route, but just know that is also thick through the downtown tunnel up to South Lake Union. Seattle to Everett, once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, is another hour. Once it's heavy from Northgate through Linwood and really thick through Mount Lake Terrace. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 10 minutes, and 405 is still packed from Kirkland all the way to that Alderwood interchange. Now, South 5 heading into Seattle slows about 85th to I-90, 20 to 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Crossing the lake from Bellevue into Seattle, it's a half hour on both of our bridge routes. Bellevue to Renton, also a half hour commute. You're bumper to bumper from 520 through Factoria, and then you'll start to thin out. Federal Way to Tacoma has improved to 20 minutes, but it's still really crowded from South 320th into Tacoma. And in Lakewood, we cleared that crash, South 5 at South 96, so that backup behind it, that is clearing out quickly. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors, plus $1,000 off complete home installs through April 30th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
ICE agents have now been deployed to 14 airports across the country.
Traffic.
Did they open lanes?
They just reopened all lanes of northbound I-5.
Engaging conversation.
If he ends this right now, it only emboldens Iran. That's a big, big mistake.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
A one-hander! JSN!
Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay. Calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry. I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perongo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
April is a great time to grow your connection to nature. From native fir trees in your backyard to a thriving patch of flowers or a walk through your local arboretum, Sky Nursery supports your gardening journey with quality plants, supplies, and local knowledge. Visit skynursery.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi? It would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connects to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all. Sound like your home? Then call for your free inspection.
InsulationNorthwest.com. You're 62 or older, lots of equity in your home, and you want to pull some cash out, but a refinance or HELOC, well, it means a bigger payment. And the cost of selling your home, it's insane. So what should you do? Hey, Brock Hewitt here for Tila Mortgage. You don't need to live at a lower standard than you deserve. You really got 3 options. Number 1, sell your home. 2, get a HELOC or refinance. Or 3, get a reverse mortgage. Tila has done the analysis and believes that a reverse mortgage is the most cost-effective way for seniors to get cash out of their homes without selling and having the option of no monthly mortgage payment. Too good to be true? No. Call today and let's compare. Tila, spelled T-I-L-A, is a name you can trust for truthful, honest, and ethical advice for all your mortgage needs. Give them a call today. 206-766-8888. That's 206-766-8888 or
Insurance and property taxes are borrower's responsibility. Tila Mortgage LLC is a mortgage broker. NMLS 2472046.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Hey, good evening. I'm Aaron Granello. Some harsh words today from Washington Congressman Adam Smith during a House Armed Services Committee. He told Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth that right now the Iran war is a failure.
Wish fulfillment is not really a strategy. I mean, maybe the president thinks he's doing some sort of Jedi mind trick and can tell Iran, you will give up your nuclear weapons, and they automatically will. But that's not working.
The hearing focused on the Defense Department's proposed $1.5 trillion budget for 2027. Member of Washington's congressional delegation is trying to get some tax relief for police officers. KIRO Radio's Frank Lindsay explains.
Democratic U.S. Representative Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez says she attended a function for police officers last year.
Who were telling me about their buddies whose families were on food stamps. That was enraging to me.
She and Pennsylvania Republican Brian Fitzpatrick are co-sponsoring the Fuel the Force Act. Active duty police officers with at least 5 years of service would not be taxed on the first $100,000 they make each year. Critics say it would be unfair to other first responders who wouldn't get that tax break. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Big day for big tech. 4 major companies posted quarterly earnings today, including Amazon. It beat expectations across the board. Amazon Web Services drove those gains, growing 28% year over year. CEO Andy Jassy says AI demand is fueling the surge.
It's very unusual for a business to grow this fast on a base this large. We've never seen a technology grow as rapidly as AI.
Microsoft also topped estimates, posting a strong third quarter. Revenue rose 18%, with its Azure cloud business surging 40%. CEO Satya Nadella called this a defining moment for the industry.
We are at the beginning of one of the most consequential platform shifts that will change the entire tech stack as agents proliferate and become the dominant workload.
Both Microsoft and Amazon are spending tens of billions of dollars to build up their AI infrastructure. To the real-time traffic desk now, here's Nate Connors.
And this one brought to us by Global Credit Union. All right, North 5 through Seattle continues to really struggle with this bumper-to-bumper grind from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. About 40 minutes to get through this. Seattle to Everett is 1 hour. That's once you get past the Ship Canal Bridge, it's 1 hour. And then you're looking at heavy volumes coming out of Northgate through Linwood. It's really thick there through Mountain Lake Terrace. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 10, and 405 is really heavy from Kirkland all the way to the Alderwood interchange. Everett to Marysville, just under 15 minutes, but you're slow still from 526 to Highway 2, and then again from the Union Slough up to 529. South 5 heading into Seattle slows about Lake City Way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle under a half hour. Bellevue to Renton's a half hour. It's solid from 520 through Factoria. Federal Way to Tacoma, we're down to 20 minutes, but you're still slow from 320th into Tacoma. And the rest of this commute slowly but surely starting to thin out at this point. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecast. Looking at sunny skies. Tomorrow, a few more clouds, but temperatures on the rise. Low 70s tomorrow. Again on Friday and Saturday, could be pushing 80 by Sunday. Right now, 65 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Teeny, we haven't heard much from you today, so you have a chance to press a little button that's marked eggs. I see it's going around and around. Pretty lots of colors. Lots of names of all the players are on the board. Lands on Andrew. How about that?
Oh, boy. Oh, I've been waiting for this.
I know you have.
I've been making scrambled eggs recently, but the twist is you saute eggs in the pan. Eggs, my goodness. You saute onions in the pan first. And the beauty of that is that gets the onions caramelized first. You do it for a couple minutes. Yep. It makes the eggs cook in like 20 seconds. It cooks them ridiculously quickly.
Well, you don't want to do that, though. You're right. You want to cook them slowly.
Hey. You can do it either way, but cooking them fast like that, and you turn off the heat well before the eggs are fully done, then that keeps them moist and keeps them getting overcooked.
Wow. You know, I'm just thinking while you're talking about that, I can't believe we do this. I can't believe we've taken this seriously now. And the excitement in your voice when you mentioned caramelized onions, I was like, I can't stop them now. And now the thing seems to have a life of its own. Hold on, Teeny.
And then Nate has a problem with it.
And then Nate jumps in. Now he's debating it.
Yeah.
I just had a question.
This is like really bad podcast stuff.
But it's a sponsor, so it's okay.
That's right, true. Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. That recipe going right in there, and a picture of Andrew's big smiling face when he talks about caramelized eggs will also be included in the leather-bound book sent to your house on a weekly basis. There we go. Well, music's... Who is that? Charlie Yardbird Parker?
True Loves.
Okay. It's been a wacky show, Joe. I let you basically take the wheel.
Well,
Jesus, take the wheel.
And I told you before the show, I'm like, let me see if I can convince you that this is actually a big deal. And if it's not, I'll never bring up Epstein again.
No, it is a big deal. Yeah. But again, it's one of these things. You start grabbing a piece of the thread and you keep going and going and going and going and going. And then you run into some place, well, is it going this way or that way? Well, I'm going to have to make a leap of faith and think it's this way. You're sort of following along the path. And then you get to what? Boop. The Italian.
Heard it, move on.
No, so boop. What can I say? What can you do? You can't vote the guy out. You can't decide, I'm just going to go live in the woods and eat bugs and grow a long beard and look like Jacob. You can't do that. You got to just keep going.
Well, I mean, there is a point. Revolutions have happened. Tax protests have happened. If things get so bad,
this is the only hope we have. Is this right here, Representative Tim Burchett, I think. All right, hang on. Let me set it back up again. But this, take two. But this is the only hope that we have. Representative Tim
Burchett, a member of our government.
Here we go. This is TMZ.
Has told you and others, I guess, that there is a form of alien life and machinery which maybe brought this living creature here that interacted in some form with people?
Yeah, they have. And they've... and he'll be at the Emerald Queen Casino this weekend only. No, hang on. Wait, there's more.
It's pretty wild. I know. But I'm just telling you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd take a lie to you. You want to put me on a polygraph, I'll take it.
God, if he didn't have a Southern accent, if he had an English accent, we'd be all over this.
Because I think it adds credibility.
Okay, fine. It's homespun.
That's right.
Okay. He said, give me a polygraph or I'll be all... Yeah, here we go.
Well, I know. But I'm just telling you, I'm not going to lie to you. I'd take a lie to you. You want to put me on a polygraph, I'll take it. But, this is what the guy told me. I mean, I've had a very high-ranking naval official describe, I've talked about this before, underwater craft, something big as a football field, moving at over 200 miles an hour. And there's no fish in the ocean that would do that. We don't even have a sub that'll probably do 40 miles an hour under the... And the last thing he said before he left my office was, it was kind of weird because he didn't go out he went out the side door, which nobody ever uses. And he looked at me, he pulled me up close, he said, Tim, they're real. And that's the last thing he said to me.
And then he said, here, pull my finger. Hold on. So now it's hearsay because Tim, Representative Tim Burchett, is saying that this guy who went out the side door said they're real. So now we've got... Tim hasn't seen them, but he's got some guys, some admiral or high-ranking government military official. Okay.
Be the title of my book, I guess. Matt Gaetz was involved in something here just recently. He was interviewed, and he talked about this interbreeding thing with...
we saw that. We saw that.
Well, that's a true story. That was a military personnel. I think... that would be a good story to talk to him about if you all can do that.
Right. He says he learned that from someone in the military.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a guy, it was an officer in uniform. Yeah. And Matt and I
so Matt Gaetz is wondering, hey, this half human, half alien, is it under the age of 18? Andrew, come on, I know when. When you have to call for it, it's not as funny.
And I was too busy wincing at that one.
Oh, quiet. Here we go. We're talking about we're talking about an alien.
Went down to Florida, and we were turned away.
Wait, shit, I missed it.
Matt made a phone call to somebody at the Pentagon.
He learned that from someone in the military.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a guy, it was an officer in uniform. Yeah. And Matt and I and Representative Luna, we all went down to Florida, and we were turned away. And then Matt made a phone call to somebody at the Pentagon, and all of a sudden they opened the doors and brought the pilots in that were supposed to tell us the story in the first place.
Okay.
And he can probably elaborate a little bit more on that. But that was pretty That was a made-for-TV special right there in itself.
Okay, good. See, this is good. This is good. Because if let's say this is true, this is good. Because then all of a sudden, everyone's attention, who cares about Epstein? You've got some craft that can go 200 miles an hour underwater, or there are these crafts shaped like TikToks that are flying around. They can move in all sorts of directions. They can throw out some sort of magnetic field. We got aliens and people coming together, having alien people babies. This changes the topic. We got and who maybe one of them will advertise on the station.
Why not?
If you want a craft that goes 200 miles an hour in Lake Union, get in touch with us here at KIRO Radio. This is good. This cleans the board. This is the aperitif, cleaning the palate for the next entree. Good stuff. Yum! That's right, Teeny. If this alien stuff, let's get this going. Find these people, and then no one's talking about Epstein.
There's a whole...
here we go. Oh, my God.
There's a movie called... Steven Spielberg movie called Disclosure coming out, and I think it's in June. It's the next couple of months, and it's all about, the government finally discloses, the big alien secret. I saw a little clip of Joe Rogan who had just seen it. He saw an early version, and he's talking to a guy, and they literally think that it is like a soft disclosure. They want the culture to get used to the fact that aliens exist. And shortly after, they're going to actually disclose it.
Okay.
So maybe you'll get your wish. Remember what the psychic said?
What's that?
A great global unifying event this year.
Okay. How is it going to affect traffic? That's what people want to know. Here's Nate checking traffic.
Well, let me tell you. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. North 5 through Seattle is affected with a bumper-to-bumper backup from the Michigan Curve all the way to the Ship Canal Bridge. There are no breaks in between here, so it's 40 minutes just to get through this. Once you do, Seattle to Everett, another 55 minutes with heavy volumes from Shoreline through Linwood. Northbound 99 remains bumper-to-bumper through that downtown tunnel up to South Lake Union. Bellevue to Everett, hour 5 minutes, and 405 remains packed from Kirkland all the way to Alderwood. South 5 heading into Seattle, you're going to slow at 85th, and that continues down to I-90. 25 minutes from Linwood to Seattle. Bellevue to Renton's a half hour. It's bumper to bumper from 520 through Factoria. And then from there, it starts to thin out, but you're not in the clear until you get past Northeast 44th there near the VMAC. North 405 still heavy from South Center through the S-curves. 20 minutes from South Center to Bellevue. And on Bainbridge Island, northbound 305, that is, there's a 2-mile solid backup approaching the Agate Pass Bridge starting near Northeast Day Road. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors plus $1,000 off complete home installs through April 30th. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
When it comes to replacing a comfort system, homeowners want 3 things. They want quality they can trust. They want service that respects their time, and confidence that they're making the right long-term decision. And that is where Home Comfort Alliance stands apart. As a Carrier factory authorized dealer, they meet strict milestones for training, installation quality, and customer satisfaction. Benchmarks that only the best contractors can achieve, and it's why their reviews are consistently the best in their class. When you want efficiency, reliability, quiet performance, and professional installation, and all of that matters, you have to make sure you're going with Home Comfort Alliance, because right now they have an online price estimator, and in just 60 seconds you get a clear, honest quote without wasting any of your time. Right now you can upgrade to a Carrier cooling system. Home Comfort Alliance will give you a new heating system for free. You upgrade cooling, they give you the heating for free. Plus, they'll handle all the utility rebates, available discounts that get you the best possible value. For the world we share, choose Carrier and Home Comfort Alliance. That's homecomfortalliance.com.
Local news from local voices you trust.
Flights out of Joint Base Lewis McChord.
KIRO News Radio.
Questions about whether the Pentagon is deploying special forces to the Middle East.
The news you depend on.
Gas prices up 25 cents in the last week.
Conversation.
Then all of a sudden, Trump comes out, hey, we're having productive talks.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM. Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco bill, and auto pay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even. Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program, they make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm. You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them. I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do. If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey there, Dawn Riley with Olympic Hot Tub. Ready to create your home wellness retreat? Whether you love a relaxing session in infrared or traditional steam heat, we have the perfect Hilo sauna waiting for you. Up your wellness game by building your own contrast therapy studio, featuring a new sauna and our amazing Vigor Cold Plunge. Buy both and save up to $5,000. Savings end April 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
The John Curley Show Mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right, hope you enjoyed your tour of the rabbit hole. Wow, oh my gosh, look at all these. Teeny, you've really outdone yourself. All right, Hudson, I believe you got a song you'd like to sing, and don't forget to... Yeah, okay, and... Okay, as you can sing. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, close enough. All right, we got a letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Joseph?
Matt in Ravensdale says, so this is on Low Trust Society in the baseball story.
Yes.
What if a good parent tells their child that the coach is right and you suck at baseball, but then it turns out the other parents had just bribed the coach and paid to get their no skills having child on the team? Then you just taught your child that authority can't be trusted, right?
Oh, my God. It's very complicated.
Yeah.
Very good, but good question, though. Jim in Everett says, you're carrying the message in your wallet. Your money talks.
A new world order.
Oh, new world order. Okay.
Jesse B says, risk is far superior to monopoly for just that reason. There's no question of anybody's motives. It's all world
domination. Yeah. Dwayne from QFC, our buddy. Most regulators have a pressure adjustment. You just tighten the knob to lower the pressure. However, a global unifying event would be epic.
Tamara in Tacoma says, truly great advice about the baseball kid. I love this story, but it's also sad. If everybody good keeps leaving politics, Congress, whatever, because the swamp is so horrible and corrupt, how are we ever going to change it?
How do we know there's anybody good in there right now? Epstein story. Bill in the 360 says, wow, poor Joe.
Vincent Rochester says, don't waste your breath. You'll never convince John. He's been propagandized and lied to his whole life. It's a tough pill for him to swallow.
Wow, my whole life? How did you know that, Vince? How does it affect you, John? How doesn't it? Obtuse much?
Doug in Mount Vernon says, the John Curley Show wants listeners, then offers them something to watch, and now tells us what to think. One source for infotainment.
It's how it all works. You figured us out. Micah Camano, John, you're killing it. Or Joe, sorry. I just naturally assumed I was.
Yeah.
Joe, you're killing it.
206 says, wow, what a boring segment. Joe is a great sidekick, but not a compelling talker at length. I like everyone on your staff, but poor decision to let him ramble on about Epstein like that. Very odd choice.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. And then Warren in Tacoma comes along and says, yes, good job, Joe.
Jeannie in Snohomish says, John, you're being disingenuous. If you came up with this, you'd be all over it. Thank you, Joe, for an interesting segment.
I can't win with you, Jeannie. I just can't win. I don't know what it is about the two of us. Tina in the 425 says, great show, Joe. And your intense research has opened my mind. I'm on your team. Please be careful.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
425 sends us in. It's very poetic, I thought. He says, please stop. No more Epstein. Ever. Put a stick of dynamite up Joe's and seal the rabbit hole for good. I listen every day, but I can't stand this.
Even That'll loosen up that cheese you had earlier. All right.
That's all she wrote.
Well, it's been interesting. I've learned a lot. I think we all have. And there's snacks and coffee in the back, and the popcorn's popped for the kids. Have fun, everybody. Get yourself a balloon on the way out. Here comes Nate checking traffic.
In Canyon Park, we have a new collision at southbound 405 right at 527, blocking the left general purpose lane. Here in Seattle, we're still solid from the Michigan Curve North 5 to the Ship Canal. 40 minutes to get through downtown Seattle. Then once you get over the Ship Canal Bridge, we're looking at heavy volumes again from Shoreline through Linwood. So Seattle to Everett is 55 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, an hour 5, and 405 has just not improved at all in the past hour. We're still really heavy from Kirkland all the way to the Alderwood interchange. South 5 into this Seattle, though, starting to thin down, slow from about Northeast 50th to I-90. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. It's bumper to bumper from about mid-Bellevue now through Factoria. And then from there, it slowly thins out. But you're not in the clear till you get past the VMAC. And then, let's see, northbound 405 remains heavy from South Center through the S-curves. But you're picking up the pace here. So South Center to Bellevue is just a 20-minute commute. Crossing the lake, westbound 520 jams up about mid-span over to I-5. Westbound 90 is slow from about, let's call it North Mercer Way all the way to I-5. But you're closer to freeway speeds in this backup. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right. I know what it's like. You watch the hair begin to thin, the crown disappears. That hair loss just robs you of your identity. That's exactly how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair's got this simple one-day treatment. They regrew my own natural hair. They do the exact same thing for you because, let's face it, your hair does not leave a forwarding address. It's just going away. You can see it in the bottom of the shower. It's on the pillow, or maybe it's in the comb, and it's saying so long to you. What you want is your own hair back. So set up a free consultation. It gives you $250 off, 250 free hair graft by just simply calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. That is 2 years in a row for Advanced Hair. Now, I'm going to suggest that you also look at the before and after pictures right there at Advanced Hair. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. According to naturalists from Puget Sound Express, it's been an incredible week of wildlife on the Salish Sea. Numerous families of Biggs orcas are in the area hunting seals and sea lions, and migrating gray whales are feeding on ghost shrimp. Last week marked the first sightings of the year of migrating adult humpback whales and the elusive tufted puffin. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Starting May 1st, Puget Sound Express is launching a new all-day tour departing from Edmonds that includes a 2-hour stop on San Juan Island. Orcas, gray whales, humpbacks, minke whales, and so much more. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult today at K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Right now, get a free furnace with the purchase of a premium